And welcome to Chess 24, and more importantly, welcome to live coverage of round 4 of the 2016 British Chess Championships. I'm Lawrence Trent. This handsome young gentleman next to me, you are young. I mean, younger than me. So
yeah,
I can
funny.
say that.
I'm waiting for it. Each time you get a new adjective, I think.
I have only got like 12.
Yesterday was delightful. The day before was lovely. Oh, by the way.
I have only got 12 adjectives, so I can last till the end of the tournament.
Very impressive.
It's important. Niclas Huschenbeth, Grandmaster, local Grandmaster from Hamburg. He's going to help me dissect what's going on in a big day at the British. Why is it a big day? Well, because there are a number of very big clashes. Just to give everybody a bit of information, get people up to speed on what has happened thus far. We have, I believe, 3 players on maximum score. Justin Tan, the youngster with playing in England under the Australian flag, has been a resident of England for some time, playing against numerous time British champion and legend of the English game, David Howell. They are on top board. And then we have Mickey Adams, who's only on 2.5. He drew against Peter Wells yesterday, playing the other player who is on 3 points, Richard Pert. Richard doing very well to be on 100%. And then we've got a whole host of Grandmaster battles and International Master versus Grandmaster battles. And we're going to have a very, very good day of very good chess, I'm sure. So, Niclas, as we are, it's a beautiful day in Hamburg. It's sunny. It's nice. I will let you
go through the first moves.
Choose the first game. We haven't got so many moves yet.
No, not in the whole game. It seems the pattern continues. David Howell being a little bit late to each of his games now. Justin Tan is waiting for his first move. But we have some moves in the Michael Adams game against Richard Pert. Yesterday, Richard Pert, he was playing an endgame for a very long time.
Yeah.
But he managed to convert as we suggested or as we expected. And now he's facing Michael Adams with the black pieces. And Adams going for c4, the English opening, which we actually see quite a lot by the top players. David Howell employed it yesterday as well. And
Gawain as well has employed it already. So, it's just a way to get a game. And we've got a very quiet 2 knights variation.
Yeah.
Bishop c5, bishop b4.
Before are the moves here. Black has different setups available as well, but this is quite possible. d6.
d6, yeah,
Okay.
And Mickey
And castle.
castles. This has all been seen, and what Black tends to do is he'll probably go a6 at some point to allow the bishop to drop back to a7. It's a very useful diagonal. Richard castled first. And Mickey played e3, so he wants to play a really quick d4. That's a much more testing setup than just going d3, I would say, because the bishop remains on this diagonal unperturbed. If a6 here, I'm wondering if you can go bishop g5. It's possible, with the idea of takes and knight e4. So maybe after d3, a lot of players would go h6 here just to stop bishop g5. But Mickey has played e3, which is very interesting.
Right.
And
of course, Black would like to go e4 here, but Black wouldn't be able to keep the pawn on e4 after knight g5. It's attacked 3 times, and you cannot keep it, and you would just lose it. Otherwise, that would be a desirable move to play. So you might just play a6 now, and then give his bishop some space to retreat.
Yeah, this has been played a few times, but believe it or not, this has not been played so much by top players. I thought this was a slightly odd position, and maybe Mickey is making use of the fact that Black has not played a6 so quickly. We've seen this in some high-rated games, of course. Grishchuk versus Luke McShane in 2012. Maxime Michel-Lagrave played it against Maxim Rothstein, and Mickey Adams himself played this against Casper Bates. So be curious to see how did that game go against Casper Bates.
That's a rapid game in the London Chess Classics.
Yeah, so e3 and then a6 was played by Casper Bates. d4, bishop a7, Mickey took on e5 and played b3, quite simply, and claims that this bishop is kind of facing a brick wall. And
we might go down this exact line.
We might
Pert
go
just
down.
played a6, d4 is on the board already. And Adams, familiar obviously, since he has had it on the board before. And yeah, maybe he'll repeat this line, or maybe he has some improvement prepared.
Wouldn't surprise me if he did have an improvement. And in
And
fact, he has played a different move. He's played h3 quite simply to stop bishop g4.
That makes sense, keeping the center.
Yeah, and now black has to find a setup. Well, we'll see what happens. Richard will probably have a bit of a think here. Lots of moves.
Right.
Ironically, in another big game of the day, Dietmar Kolbus, your best friend,
Yeah, my boy.
the German, your boy, playing in the British Championships, he is playing Niclas Pert, and would you know, they almost have the same opening
That's
today.
hilarious.
But interestingly,
It's different though.
Dietmar, in this position, instead of playing knight f3, he plays the immediate knight a4, which is an attempt just to win this bishop without any answer, really. Black can't stop this, because if he goes bishop b4, you go a3, and you go b4, and you win the bishop like so. So Dietmar absolutely determined to win the two bishops here.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also quite a little bit different, because I think the point of still keeping a knight on g8 is that after, let's say, knight f3, black can play f5 and then follow up with knight f6 castle.
Right.
So a little bit different, but interesting that the two brothers, the Pert brothers, are playing the same variation here, more or less.
Very interesting. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, remember to keep your tweets and your chat coming in the chat box in Chess24, or alternatively, hashtag C24 Live, send your tweets, and add both myself and Niclas. He is GM_Huschenbeth, that's at GM_Huschenbeth. I am at Lawrence Trent, I am, all one word.
Oh, you also got the title. That's nice.
Yeah, and now the thing is, if I ever become a GM,
Yeah,
I'm
what
going to
do you
have to
do?
change it. I can change it.
Can you change it?
Yeah, you can change it. So that's good news. Otherwise,
That's
I'd
good
be in
news.
big trouble. Okay, so Niclas now is going to have to decide how he wants to continue. And, well, he
probably
can...
just bishop b6 or knight e7.
I think he's going to leave the bishop there, personally.
Yeah?
I think he's going to play this move.
You want to allow... Okay, no, knight e7, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
because,
allow a triple pawn.
Right, yeah, so if this might be too much, even this I'm not sure,
Yeah, well, okay.
but it's... Well, even this I'm not sure, because this guy's...
Okay, but
Yeah.
you don't need to do this.
You don't need to do it. I don't. And Nick's quite a classical player. He likes his pawn structure. He won't do this. Another very interesting game is Gawain Jones versus Chris Ward. These guys know each other very well, not because they've played each other, but Chris has been a coach at the World Youth Championships for a number of years, and they are both big experts on the dragon, the two biggest. So, interestingly, Chris, though, decides to play two knight c6. He's been a d6 player most of his life. And the reason he's done this is because he wanted to transpose after bishop b5. Gawain has even written a book on this variation. With
Has
bishop,
he?
Yeah, I believe he has. Bishop b5. He's done it with knight c6 and d6. So he's done, and we've of course got big series here at Chess24
We just covered
on
this
the Rosalima with
by Robin van Kampen.
Robin van Kampen has just done a series on this. So all of you who are not premium, become premium. Somebody like Pawn Pressure, he's premium.
And he can check it out right
Danger
now.
Mao 5, he's premium. Adam Hunt, hi Adam, he's premium. All of these guys, Tristram Shandy, they can all watch this series to their heart's content because they are premium. And all you have to do is become premium. Go to the homepage to find out. It is cheap and cheerful and well worth it. Hundreds of series available, much cheaper than buying books or DVDs. Anyway, so this series is there. D6, castles, bishop d7. This is the main line. Rook e1, a6. And now,
bishop takes c6.
very
Interesting.
curious, yeah, because the fashion at the moment is to
bishop
go.
f1.
Well, it's bishop f1, but it's also bishop c4.
Oh, bishop c4 is the fashion at the moment. Yeah, bishop f1 being the old main move. Yeah, I heard about it. I think this is the move Robin recommends. Could very well be.
Right. So bishop, and people are saying, why bishop c4 if we can go b5? The idea is that after bishop f1, you now have a target. It's very deep chess, very nuanced chess, but it's beautiful stuff. So it's really interesting to see Gawain take on c6, bishop takes c6 and d4. Pawn takes d4, queen takes d4. So we've now got a kind of queen takes d4 variation, 3 queen takes d4, if I can put it on the board for you. You could, I've played this myself in the British Championships against Simon Williams. I had this position, so you can see something similar.
Well, actually, yeah, the difference is the
king.
That black has spent another move playing a6.
Right.
But then again, white has committed himself to castle.
Right, exactly.
Kingside.
And white is already quite threatening in the sense. I mean, I would be careful here with black. The question is black going to go e5, which looks very reasonable? Yes, it gives himself a kind of backward pawn, but this is a very standard line, and follow up with h6 to stop bishop g5 and go knight f6. After which, you know, something like this would be very normal. Or is he going to go more with e6 and knight f6? Or is he even just going to go knight f6 immediately, not worrying about e5, just because maybe you can just take it? And
yeah, I think that's fine for black.
So a bit of a choice here now for Chris. Now, for all of you that are interested in the theory here, I'm just going to check the database.
And you guys can do it yourself as well. You can just click on opening tree or database and see how many times the position has been played, who played it, and what the top players do really here.
And really, this has not been played much at all. We're kind of in novel territory here. Igor Glek, when he was 2670, feels like an eternity ago. Igor Glek was one of the best players in the world. Now, barely above 2400, played white against Hracek, which was a draw. And Emil Sutovsky played this in 2003, beating Grebionkin. So you can check out those games. But we're already in a novel position. We'll see how Chris reacts. We have got moves on the top board. Justin Tan versus Gawain, versus David Howell, I should say. And David has played
the Caracan.
Solid. Very solid, Mr. Howell.
Not his main weapon, I would say.
Not his main weapon. He plays a French, he plays e5. But
e5.
Clearly he wants to win today. He doesn't want to get a dry position. And look at the position we have
pawn
got.
of attack.
And what's interesting about this?
It's the third time in a row.
That's right. He's
playing against the isolated pawn position.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
That's interesting. I don't think that's ever happened to me in a tournament. I've never had 3 IQP games in a row. I've had 2.
What was his first round game? Do you remember?
It wasn't an isolated. He played a Trompovsky or something. Oh no, that was the one that transposed, was it? No, he played a Trompovsky or something, if I remember.
With white?
Yeah, with white.
Yeah.
That
didn't lead to.
He's only had
pawn.
3.
Only, yeah.
And so we get an absolutely standard main line here. Tons of games: Topalov, Aronian, Rajabov, Kramnik, Nakamura, Giri. Just been played loads and loads and loads. And I get confused in these positions, Niclas, because they look all so similar to me a lot of the time, and I'm not so familiar with the nuances. But Justin playing very quickly, maybe he is very familiar. It'll be interesting. He's a very dangerous player, and when he's in theory, he's very, very capable. So David has to be a bit careful here, you know. David has to be a bit careful. So,
but he already has collected some experience on those kind of positions in the last 2 rounds. But of course, every position has different subtleties and nuances. So
one game that isn't exciting is a game of the old dogs. Mark Hebden versus Peter Wells. Look at this for a dribby game. D4, knight f6, knight f3, d5. And now c3. Just, you know, you can't be too careful, Mark. Don't move that up 2 squares, whatever you do. No, this is typical Hebden. He's looking to get either his favourite sort of Torre attack. Is the move h6 here? Is that at all reasonable? Because it just stops bishop g5.
Well, but if white just plays the London system,
yeah, I understand. Sure. I understand, but you know the bishop now can I don't know, probably it's no good.
Yeah, I like c3 actually because I think it's directed against c5 when white might take.
White should take.
So this is interesting because after, let's say, bishop f4, c5 would be an option for
Yeah.
black, certainly. So it's an interesting move order, and that's why Peter Wells is spending some time here figuring out how he wants to set up his pieces.
Spends a lot of time anyway. So we'll come back to that one. In another very important game, we got Gorm versus Eggy. And we have got a bishop b5 check Sicilian with knight d7 this time.
Oh,
And we've
similarly,
got,
bishop f1 back.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually black plays a6 right here. And the point really is that now this bishop f1 isn't possible. And people have recently tried this move bishop d3. And we've seen this early in the tournament. I think, who played it? Was it Gormally even?
Yeah, it was Gormally.
Yeah. So he has played this already.
Think so, yeah.
Knight f6. This allows, of course, the bishop to retreat all the way to f1. So I think a6 is the better move order. a6 first, that is. Okay. Black sets up with
I don't like this move at all.
Taking on d4?
Yeah, this for me is quite a poor move because it allows the knight to be developed to c3. I think the way you should play it is simply as you would after d4, you should just go e5.
Mm-hmm.
That said, of course, you always have to be a bit concerned about knight a3 coming to c4. I've played a lot of these systems with white, but I always felt that, here, knight a3, you can always play b5, and the bishop comes to b7 quickly. But to allow the knight just to develop harmoniously,
naturally, yeah.
This is sort of position Carlsen would just be lethal in. He's lethal in most positions, but it's this kind of position that Carlsen is just deadly in because he's got a bit of an advantage. He's got space.
Yeah, you're just giving the opening advantage to white. I mean, you're just here, handing it to you, right here.
It's
just
really
giving you the center, letting white develop his knights naturally. The knight is on d7, is badly placed.
It's just
I don't like this.
No, I don't like how Eggy has come out here, but we will see. Another important game, Peter Bachelor against John Emms, the youngster, playing decent chess on 2.5. He drew against Nick Pert yesterday in a decent game.
Mm-hmm.
And John Emms, he fluffed a game and then came through yesterday. And they've got an interesting position.
Yeah,
John Emms actually playing against a Maroczy bind.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So quite
bishop e2 is the move here, covering g4, and then there's a lot of stuff going on here. I've played this position a number of times myself. It's always quite pleasant for white because it is this Maroczy bind. You have strong control over the center. You have the space advantage, long-term space advantage, and it's not easy for black to become active. On the other hand, it's not easy for white to break through either. Oftentimes the black positions are very solid, resilient, and you have to maneuver a lot to finally get in or break through.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, those positions are very nice to play for white. I certainly like them. This is interesting. Arkell versus Rutt.
Yeah. They've played each other many times before. And
look how they're blitzing out the moves. They're already in move 16.
Yeah.
Let's go through the moves here real quick. Take 6, d4, c6, bishop g5.
Yeah, classical. This is and this is the old Karpov line here with g6. If I remember correctly, the way they used to play was to go e4. This was an attempt at a refutation. But e3 is more Keith's style. Just exchange some pieces. And he's played so quickly. I think this is all theory, by the way. I'm going to double check.
Yeah. Or maybe they've played it against each other already.
Very, very possible that they've played this against each other. Not.
Well, the current position hasn't been played before.
Let's have a look here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so bishop h6 is 500 games with bishop h6.
Well, we should say where. Hold on. Oh yeah, like he played in this position.
Yeah.
Bishop h6 was played quite a lot.
So bishop h6, and now knight g4 has been played. Bishop f4, yes. And f5 only played twice. Let's see who. No, f5
Not
has
by
only
Jack
been
Rat,
played.
so that was a surprise.
So f5. So after this, castles has been played a lot of top player games, 2,700 players. But f5 is not a mistake maybe, but look at the speed they are playing. Knight f6, knight e5. And Keith is just blitzing out the moves. He just wants, he just wants a blitz game against Jack, you know. Look at this, bishop d6, f4, bishop takes e5, f takes e5, knight h5, and castles. They've played 18 moves already. And
well, Mark Hebden versus Peter Wells, they've played 3.
yeah. And here, well, the big question is, if Jack gets a knight to e6, is he doing okay, or is it still bad? This could still be awful for black.
I would prefer white right now.
I think you have to castle. Because if you go knight g7, sorry, castles, if you go knight g7, I'm worried about g4s and...
Certainly always a move to consider for black. Question is if black could react with something like queen g5 or queen h4.
Yeah, it might not work. So knight g7 or knight g3 is also interesting, by the way.
Yeah,
Knight
but
g3
it doesn't really make...
Well, to come to e4.
Well, but then you could have gone to e4 right after f takes e5.
Well,
which actually was the move
Well, Jack castled,
sure.
and maybe it's not actually that bad for him at all. So we'll see what Keith has in mind.
Interesting, yeah.
And we've got a few other games, but we're going to keep our eyes on these top ones just for the minute. And let's go to Adam's Pert, Richard Pert. After h3, Richard had a bit of a think, and he decided to take. I understand that capture, because his follow-up makes sense. He wants to stop bishop g5, but...
He clarifies the tension in the center. I'm not quite sure if it was necessary. He could have started with h6 as well.
Mm-hmm. But the question is, where is this bishop? It doesn't really have a useful... I think there's a good chance Mickey plays b3 and bishop b2. Yeah, because the bishop here doesn't do anything. The bishop on f4 doesn't really achieve much. And this is really an important moment just for perhaps some of our younger viewers or some of our viewers who are looking to improve their game about how to plan. And this is like a great position to illustrate that. Just because you move a piece from the back rank doesn't necessarily mean it belongs to a certain plan. This move here, a lot of people would say is a development move. Actually, it blunders a pawn, but it doesn't really develop a piece. And bishop e3, does that really help White's game? Unless d5 is a real threat here. So it's more about how your pieces are going to work together. Just getting a piece out for the sake of getting it out is not really the way you should go. Instead, the reason I suggested b3 is because, well, actually, in a lot of positions, if I manage to open up this long diagonal, I'm going to be a lot better. Also, I can occupy the e file, and my pieces feel a bit more sort of together. And the point is, if black ever goes d5, that might be possible. It does run into this long diagonal, but it also, for example, I don't know, something like this, you would also consider c5 here.
Yeah, and also taking on d5 twice.
And also, there is a tactical problem because there's knight e5 in the air a lot of the time. So I expect Mickey to play a move like b3. He could play bishop f4, but why bishop f4? It just gets hit a lot. I don't think he's going to play that. Then again, he could prove me wrong. So I don't know. I'm just trying to get people thinking a bit more rather than just
developing pieces.
Right. Eggy played b5, which looks like the only move really to get things going. And now Danny's got a very pleasant choice. Bishop d3 looks like a sensible move to me.
I would also think about e5 already here.
e5 already here is very interesting. The question is what's going on here. Do you really want to go e6?
I want to go queen d5, but you have knight b6, unfortunately. Otherwise that would have been nice.
And if rook b8 anyway?
Well, rook b8, I can go e6.
But even that's not clear.
I think white is better then. Okay, but queen d5 we can play knight b6.
Yeah.
But okay, what if just play a move like bishop f4?
Yeah, you can do that, but...
No, after e5.
b5, e5 takes knight g4, bishop f4 here.
Yeah.
And if here?
Are you threatening to take on f3?
Maybe, but
Maybe.
I mean, the point is that I feel
It's
a
not
bit
necessary.
overextended. Yeah, why am I giving away, unless there's a clear... He's played e5, it's kind of surprising to me, that move, because I feel like,
I don't know, I think it's a
the
typical
computer
response.
hates it. The computer hates it. I can just instinctively feel that it's not right in this position. A move like a3 is much more... Carlsen would never play e5 here. He would never... He would just go a3, bishop b7, maybe he'd go h3 or bishop d3. Really. He'd get his bishop to f4, he'd go... And at some moment when he's mobilized, he'd think about e5.
Oh.
That's the difference. Or bishop d3. This is another typical Carlsen move. He's played this in similar lines, actually, in this... Bishop d3, maybe he doesn't even need it. Maybe he thinks, oh, a3 creates some light square weaknesses. So I'll just go bishop d3, reserving the option of b3 later. And if bishop b7, you know, a move like bishop d2, it's possible.
Interesting.
Just not creating weaknesses. But e5 I don't like. I just don't like it. I think it's a bit premature. I understand
It's
Danny's
very
point.
concrete, yeah.
Yeah, I understand Danny's point. But maybe here he wants to go a4 and knight d5, but I find that hard to believe that this was his idea.
Yeah, it's surprising to me how quickly he played, because e5 is really a move you consider twice. Because it's a very committal move. Like we said, white could just, you know, play a3 or develop his pieces, have this nice little edge with the center, strong center. But e5, well, if it works out, it could be great for white. But if it doesn't work out, it could be that you give away your advantage and you might also create some weaknesses.
In the Jones-Ward game after queen takes d4, Chris did play knight f6, a very logical move, bishop d5 and e6. And this does look like a very harmless version of some of these lines for...
Yeah, it's surprising to me. Especially because we said in this position, yeah, bishop c4, the fashionable move, but also bishop f1, I think, is giving white a good play, a good game. Okay, I think he will probably go c4 and then, you know, just play the position.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is, you know, more than fine. Yeah.
Something like this.
Yeah, but it, you know, rook c8, this is just typical. Queen can come to a5. And black is never worried about giving this pawn. Firstly, he can... These positions are always absolutely fine for black.
With those weaknesses.
That's just... This just never works. You can just never win a pawn in this line. So something like this is possible. But, you know, then it's like, well, what next?
Yeah.
Because as white, I don't have the same pawn breaks. And also, if my king was on b1, let's say in a lot of these lines, you can think about going knight d2, f3, g4, and so on. But here, it feels like it's lacking a bit of bite, I must say. So, interesting. In Colbus Pert, Nick followed my thinking with knight g7. He was never going to allow all of this structural damage.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, now he's just rocky solid with his pawns on dark squares.
Yeah, looks
And
good. Looks very harmonious for black.
yeah, he looks like he's... This is the sort of position Nick enjoys. He'll be very happy, I think, with the outcome of this opening. And there I say bishop e3 doesn't do anything. However, I did put the caveat in that d5 with this bishop on a7, there is some kind of thought process to it. So
Yeah, that was the risk when you were talking about it.
Yeah.
Bishop e3. And then, Adams just plays it. But yeah, I think it is directed against the bishop on a7.
and if I go rook e8 here, is the idea he just wants to go d5 anyway? d5,
d5, really?
yeah, and d takes c6.
But is this working?
I don't know. And then something funky.
Knight d4?
Yeah, some knight jump. I don't know where, but knight d4 looks... Yeah, something like this could be... up
His pawn, bishop
yeah.
takes d4, c takes b7.
Mhm. Or queen takes d4.
Oh, queen takes d4.
Yeah. Looks promising for white. Okay, you can go b6 or something, but just rook e1, and looks like this pawn can be... But also c takes b7 could very well be a move.
Okay. So you think that's his idea, going
yeah.
d5?
Yeah, that's his idea. So the question is, can black play d5? I want to play d5 with black.
Okay. So now... Well, I'm not even sure how these positions are, really. I mean, do bishop on a7?
No, I know, but
This
also...
is pretty
kind
sad.
Yeah, but I've always got ways to reroute it via b8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometime far in the future.
even not even that far in the future. Knight e7 with the idea of knight f5.
Mm-hmm.
I can always just put the guy on b8. It's actually got a very interesting future with h3 already included. There are all kinds. Imagine, just to put some moves on the board here. I'm just putting random moves on the board, but already look at my bishops raking down on the king's side. So I don't know. I think d5 has to be seriously considered. I'd be curious. Should we cheat? See what the machine says. Yeah, it gives d5 and c5. So I think if I were black here, I would settle on d5 or c5. D5 here.
Yeah, and the computer also suggests rook e8,
Yeah.
which probably after d5 just wants to... Well, actually does want to take on e3. I'm wondering what we have missed here. Oh, simple stuff, just rook b8.
But that looks weird, no?
A little bit. I mean, like, take on b7 and knight c6.
No, because b2's hanging.
Yeah,
oh
but
no,
the rook is
rook's
hanging too.
Even this, yeah, I mean black looks fine here, right?
Oh.
It should be about equal.
Yeah.
I don't see this happening personally.
Okay.
I think Richard will play d5 or rook e8, and after c5, I think I'm quite happy with black. But
Okay.
I could be wrong.
And of course, you also need to consider those lines.
No, knight b4 is the idea.
Oh, knight b4.
Knight b4, yeah, because we
If
run.
knight takes d5, that would run
yeah,
into
that runs into the trick.
knight d5.
Yeah, that really would work for white. But knight b4 is a typical idea
I see.
to install a knight there, and if we get a knight there, and c6, we are
You're doing quite well.
very well. So interesting. What about Justin Tam versus David Howe? Have we got a very well-known theoretical position here? Is it a Karpov-Nimzo? Looks like one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at the opening tree. 81 games. Queen c7. Looks a kind of bit different. David has given up on c3 very early on. Yakovenko, Yu Yang Yi, Korobov, Marichashvili, Eduard Naidich. So there are a few games in this line. Curious. Let's let that one brew because it could be very interesting.
Yeah, he's not playing against an isolated pawn anymore. I mean, that's the first big Turn
And
around.
look, Peter Wells did go c5. He was so confident of playing a Slav against a Slav, even in a tempo down, because Mark doesn't play the Slav. He's never been a Slav player. He probably just thought, well,
That's
I don't
interesting.
fancy this. And after bishop f4, knight c6, we have got basically a Slav position with the bishop on f4.
Yeah.
I mean, this kind of stuff is possible. Maybe black will want to develop the bishop out to g4. Slow game, slow game. Keith Arkell versus Jack Rudd is never going to be a slow game. These guys.
Jack Rudd has spent about, 1 minute.
He spent 1 minute on 22 moves.
Well, of course, he's getting extra time. Each move half a minute, but still, this is almost nothing.
But his position's good. It's okay. Knight f4, probably just rook e8 or something.
And King's Crusher is pointing out that, in the previous position, it is actually just transposing to a London system now. What Mark Hebden is doing.
Keith played something else. He played rook c1. Yeah, now this queen isn't really doing much out on g5. You can retreat it, hit this b pawn.
Yeah, why did he go to g5?
No idea. Eventually this queen should go back, I think. But
it's interesting how he plays so quickly. But yeah, what do you think about the position though?
looks equal to me. Looks balanced. I mean, I feel like black can't make progress here.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Where's black going to play anyway?
I don't think you really can play with black here.
I would prefer white.
I'm not sure. About even. Eggleston has taken on e5 and gone knight g4.
And
so
now Gormally has to show what he has.
Yeah, and I don't
here.
like this. I don't like the idea. Too hasty, Danny. Too hasty. Gawain actually developed his knight to d2. That's curious.
So you might want to play without c4.
You might want to put a knight on c4.
Go knight c4.
Then his setup kind of makes sense, right?
But still, I can't really believe it, honestly.
So bishop e7 must be the move.
Bishop e7, knight c4.
Now you have to be careful of knight takes e4.
Well, not here, right?
Not here, probably. Or rook e... no, g7's hanging. G7's hanging as well. It doesn't work. Just take on g7 for a start. It doesn't work. But if I castle...
I mean, this looks fine for black. I guess I go
Okay,
rook d1.
Let me just try knight takes e4. Because it's just a move you have to watch on every...
But I can take here.
Queen e7.
And take here.
And takes.
Yeah, I can take on d5 as well.
That's a problem. So that's only with rook a d1, right?
You might be able to play d5 here.
Rook g4 though, threatening mate.
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet, but...
Yeah.
I mean, even this,
doesn't feel right.
If you have to go f5, you'll probably... You might be okay, but even rook f4 and... queen... knight e5, bishop d5... Oof. I don't know.
Well, here black might be fine, but it feels like this is
a
little bit shaky.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like white should be able to do this.
You mean black?
Black, sorry.
Yeah.
But white doesn't really have a threat here.
Oh. Can I take you?
It's not a threat though.
So you can just play queen c7?
I think so. It's just never a threat. It's what I learned in this system. Bishop takes. Okay. Okay, but this is just...
You don't believe this?
Well, I mean, there's just I mean, apart from rook ac8, which just looks like amazing comp. Maybe knight b6 is a bit annoying. What happens if I just played, I don't know, this bishop b5, knight b6, rook a d8? What if I just went here or something? I mean,
certainly you have compensation. The question is,
no, it's always more than enough. These bishops, you just can't defend everything. And that's just in the worst case scenario. Takes. Yeah, bishop b5 is the other one, yeah. This is what I was looking at, knight b6 and just rook a d8. Just never enough comp for white. I've just played too much of this position to know that this doesn't work. I just never take this piece.
well, but if you don't take the pawn for white, what are you going to do?
Well, you don't play knight c4 probably. Maybe one idea is that you want to go e5 and the knight's protected.
I don't see much. I don't see.
Or maybe
e5
he wants to go
doing much.
c4 again. He wants to reserve.
Yeah, but then a knight would be better placed on c3.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I don't like the setup for white, if I'm honest. The more I look at it. Dietmar has Dietmar going for it. He plays the move h4. I think that's to stop bishop h3 more than anything. Castles and queen a4. So.
But now there's always the issue. Whenever you castles white, black can play bishop h3
or knight d4. So
yeah, knight d4 as well now, of course.
You can even do knight d4 immediately, but what's wrong with this now? Looks okay. There's no discovered. Maybe you don't have to go knight d4 though, that's the point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I like the black position. Knight d4. Probably have to take and go king somewhere.
Yeah, no. The other idea is, of course, that here, king somewhere and just oppose this bishop. The knight can drop back here. Looks fine for Nick. Looks okay. Justin Tan has put his bishop on d3. I always like this square. Knight bd7 looks like the most natural move here. And because I think taking
on c3 is
just
too much.
Way too much. Bishop b2.
Yeah, there are always these lines where white just goes d5, opens up all the lines, and it's just game over.
I would just play d5 immediately here, without calculating.
Yeah.
Because I know that knight takes d5, I just take probably on h7. It's probably good enough. Or minimum knight g5. And this kind of thing is just a disaster. So after here, I mean, I'd think about it for a couple of minutes. I'd make sure that I'm not losing. The big move is what happens here, but I imagine I can just take. The first move I look at is this, obviously, because I wonder if this probably loses, unfortunately, to this one.
Yeah, black doesn't have to take on g5, otherwise would work.
Otherwise this would just be Gawain, rook d3 and mate.
But
you always have to look out for these
this is not
sacrifices. But yeah, so here. Maybe it's not so clear, but
you could play rook ac1 first.
Rook ac1 first, bring another piece in, and now here.
I mean, it just seems very dangerous.
Practically, this is just so difficult, isn't it, to play against? I would hate to be black.
I would hate to.
David is just not taking this pawn ever.
There's no way.
He's going to play knight b7. I mean, this is just a sensible move. And now we really have got a very... This must have been played loads of times, this position.
I could imagine, yeah. But, I like those positions for white. You have the bishops, and you have ideas against the black king. I like those. Oh, and Petrosian Pupil is saying, Robin's videos on the Russell demo say a6 that Chris Ward played is a mistake, but Jones doesn't seem to have capitalized on it.
It's not a mistake.
A6, but this is one of the main moves, yeah?
Yeah, it's not a mistake.
I'll be surprised if Robin says that, because, yeah.
What is the other main move here? Knight f6
Oh, maybe
first.
it's knight f6 first.
I wonder why a6. Is that why? Because of this? Is that what Robin says? Perhaps Petrosian Pupil can tell us. Is this the reason why it's a mistake?
It can be a big mistake, honestly.
Yeah, for me it doesn't feel like a mistake at all. So I don't know what Robin's talking about. Perhaps you can reference something there.
The Illusion is making a good point. Hebden might be the only British GM who has not written a book. Yeah, I've noticed that. Like a lot of offers.
Yeah, we have.
But okay, I'm sure there are other British GMs.
No, I'm sure everybody else has written a book.
Like even like Luke McShane and
Luke has written a book.
And Michael Adams too.
Mickey's written like a couple of books. Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
David Howell too?
David might. That's true. David Howell might not be. But David might not have written a book actually. Gawain has, I'm pretty sure. And I know Jonathan Hawkins has. I think Nick has. I mean, pretty much all of them have. And we have this position in Adams versus Pert.
Yeah, I think it looks like Black's preparing d5.
Right, he is. Just keeping it fluid. I quite like this as well.
And it's kind of a position you can also get out the Alekhine with this kind of pawn structure. And yeah, white has more space, but it's really not easy to capitalize on that.
I like Black's position. I think Richard's got an excellent position. He just has to go d5. He can play knight f5. If white, g4 might be an interesting move here for white. Just stopping knight f5 and just gaining a bit of space and making the black pieces slightly passive. But black can always put his knight on g6, rook e8. Can go d5, put the bishop on b8. And white's got to be careful long term of this diagonal.
Yeah, g5 is a risky double-edged move, certainly. Yeah, I like what Richard has done here. He seems to have come out of the opening well and is up for a fight. And there's a question about the Hebden against World's game.
Yeah, we had
it's an interesting line.
E3
Queen b6, yeah.
and c4. This is very typical.
And bishop f5 follow up.
Yeah, this is a very interesting move because if you take, obviously black wins the exchange, so you can't. So this gains an interesting tempo. Queen c1, and now I don't know. I always felt like I want to keep this bishop and play h6 here.
Yeah, you can.
Just to be able to hide, because if I go e6, then I'm wondering whether white will just immediately go knight h4. I really like having this bishop. And if bishop e4, f3, wow, it's saying bishop d3 is strong. I've never seen this maneuver.
Yeah, usually it's not possible because black doesn't have a pawn on c4. I guess the point is that a knight on h4 is so awkward here if you can't exchange it.
That's interesting. So then in that case, e6 just isn't, h6 isn't necessary. You can just go e6. After which, knight bd2. And now h6 is also possible. You know, I've had a million kind of positions like this.
I like those positions for black though.
Yeah, I've had this position a million times. And I remember Plaskett just played queen d8 against me. The idea of pawn storm.
I like it. You know, you get
black's
some
better.
space.
I think black's
advantage
better.
of the opening.
I think black's better, actually. People are saying the queen takes c3 in Tan. Howell is a famous game. Beliavsky beat Kasparov. Doesn't surprise me at all that this is a Beliavsky-Kasparov game. Be curious to see that.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen this kind of... I mean, I definitely have seen the sacrifice of d5 before. I might as well have been in that position.
Yeah, Mark has definitely played a bad line today. And it's because of his fear about playing against the Slav, and it's really strange for an experienced grandmaster not to do this. Knight d7 c4 is on the board.
Yeah, and Justin Tan still in his preparation. He has not spent a lot of time, whereas David Howell has already spent 38 minutes or so.
Yeah, because in this position, these are the standard hanging pawns.
Mm-hmm.
They're called hanging pawns,
Right.
and I like c4 because it just gives some real dynamism to the white position.
Yeah, I like those positions for white, honestly. I mean, there's a lot of dynamic, there are attacking chances, and black always has to be careful about not getting checkmated or running into sacrifices.
And look at this, Gawain has played knight c4. I don't like that at all.
I mean, honestly, I think he's going after a d6 pawn.
Yeah, but you can just castle. Rook a d1, and black can even think about going d5 here. That's also a very normal move.
Yeah.
I mean, this is 0 for white, this position, I can tell you. Yeah. What do you do? Because I'm just telling
No, this is nothing.
This is probably better for black. So I really don't like Gawain's setup, I have to say. I really don't like it. Chris got a good position. What happened in the Gormally game? Let's check it out. So he did go bishop f4, bishop b7.
And h3,
and
yeah.
This was his idea.
And we're wondering if black can take on f3 here.
He can.
And he did.
And he did.
Interesting.
He's attacking the knight, so you have to go to c6, rook a d1.
Queen c8.
I mean, clearly white has got some compensation here. I mean, he's got the two bishops, he's got the rooks very nicely placed.
Yeah.
But it's not completely clear what the next move is, in my opinion.
I mean, the move I want to play is knight d5, but maybe black is just going to kick
E6,
it, e6.
Yeah. Just e6.
And
you have to go back.
follow up.
Yeah. This is what I was trying to say, Niclas. You know.
No, you're right.
I'm right quite a lot. Right?
Absolutely.
I'm actually not that bad at chess.
You are not that bad. You're an international master.
When should I become a grandmaster?
I don't know. How much is missing?
One norm.
One norm? Just that?
No, and the rating.
And the rating. Okay.
But that's only one tournament.
Only one tournament?
Yeah, if I made a norm, I'd gain 20 points, probably. And then I'd be more or less there.
Okay. I'm not sure we're...
We'll do it one day. Maybe we can organise a match. I'd only have to get like +4 or +5 against you.
I don't think you can make a GM norm in a match.
No?
No. Wow. I'm sorry. Wow, look at this.
Jack has exploded, ladies and gentlemen. This is the danger with Mr. Rudd. He'll go g5 if he can't seem to... Yeah, just knight g5. Come on. Put the knight on e6.
I mean, the knight on e4 is fine too.
Yeah, but
This is
g5
some
knight.
crazy stuff.
What did he do here?
G4.
G4, Jack. What did he miss? Queen g5. What did he miss?
No,
Here?
I think he just wants to...
What is it?
He went h5. But
I mean, this is just...
the computer saying it's completely winning for white already. And rook f4 is a pretty simple point.
It's a pretty simple refutation, isn't it, really? Yeah, and
Yeah,
King's
I mean,
gonna
this
win.
is just craziness. Yeah, but...
They're saying I wouldn't make +4 against you. Come on, it's Niclas Huschenbeth. You know, it's not Magnus Carlsen. Let's
Yeah, I won't give you rook out.
go. Any move here. Queen e6.
Yeah, like this is insane. Yeah?
This is just insane.
I mean, so far for Jack Rudd, the term has been going really well, and his strategy of playing quickly, playing aggressively, paid off. But today, I think it's going to backfire.
I've played Jack Rudd before.
And how
I
did it
can't
go?
remember. It was in the British Championships. I either drew or won.
Okay.
I might have only made a draw against Jack. Can somebody check how I did against Jack Rudd? That would be interesting.
But yeah, rook f4 with the idea takes, and rook takes, and knight h6 picks it up. Is there anything for black here? King h8, king h7.
Just looks hopeless. Rook bf1, I cover my knight. Your king is open. hg4, queen e2, just queen d1, whatever. Pick the pawn up. End of story.
Oh yeah.
This is how you play against Jack. You play super quickly in an equalish position and he'll just go mad at some point. So,
That's funny.
sad day.
What's going on in this game?
This is...
So which line did they go down? Rook c1. Uh-huh. I mean, white has many choices here. I like this move f3, which is very useful anyway to stabilize the center. And if, you know, if black now goes bishop takes d, knight takes d4, bishop takes d4, bishop c6, you can play b4, and that's the advantage of playing f3. So you have the pawn already protected, and you're gaining some space here, and you're potentially kicking your bishop out again.
I drew against Jack Rudd, I've been informed, by the way, so...
Ah, I see. Reset series somehow, and my phone reacted. I don't know.
You speak to your phone?
No, I think there's this, if you say something like, hey Siri or something like that, it will react.
Hey Siri, how tall is Niclas Huschenbeth?
I don't know how it's triggered. Actually, it was the first time ever.
Wow, we triggered Siri.
Anyways. But instead rook c1, now this typical idea to exchange knights on d4 and go bishop c6. f3 and knight e7, very standard. Yeah, and you know, that's once again going back to this line. Here you prevent this idea knight d7 because now you could just pick up the bishop. So I'm not sure about this rook c1 by Bachelor, because here this is what black wants. He wants to exchange the dark squared bishops and then end up in a position with just a light squared bishop against the knight. And even here queen d4 check, just king g8. Black is equalized more or less already, it feels like to me. Well, unless I can play b4 here, but even this, queen b6. Yeah. Seems absolutely fine for Mr. Emms. So, going back to the discussion of that every British grandmaster more or less has written a book. So that means if you become a grandmaster, you must write a book.
I have to write a book, yeah.
What would your book be on?
How not to become a grandmaster.
I'm sure that would be a bestseller immediately.
I don't know, I'd have to think about it. I've had a few offers to write books over the years, but
Okay.
just didn't quite, you know.
Nothing appealed?
Not really, no. If I'm honest. Interesting. In this game, well, Danny's gone rook c1, which is very...
It's preparing knight d5.
Yeah, knight d5 is a huge threat, so probably black has to go queen b7.
Okay, and still knight d5?
Huh.
I mean, you could do this. Let's go down this line and now play e6. The points of the rook takes c6. I don't take on c6, but I take on d5. Oh, hold on, rook c7. I'm blundering. My bad. So that doesn't work. We figured that out.
What about just e6 immediately?
Yeah, but now, you know, knight e4
Yeah.
feels
Feels like I've got a lot of holes, no?
Yeah, I don't want to play e6 here if I can avoid it. Maybe I can just move my knight back. How about that? Knight e6.
Yeah, it's a threat knight h5 as well.
Cover d5.
Quite a good move, actually.
Neutralize this knight on.
Mhm.
Thank you. Neutralize
Very
the knight on
good. You're not
c3.
bad.
Yeah, you know,
You
I have my
can play.
moments.
You can play.
Time to time. Yeah, but maybe queen f3.
Yeah, but that runs into knight d4 in some positions at least.
Some positions, yeah. Otherwise, my point would be maybe, you know, knight takes b5 ideas. But overall, it seems black is fine.
Mickey actually played d5. So
All right, let's go back here. d5. So he didn't
Yeah.
want to wait until black plays
yeah,
d5.
so that's an interesting moment. So if I take on e3 now, which looks sensible, the question is, how do I want to set this structure? Do I want to go c5 with black and then try and play b5 at some moment and try and get some kind of Benoni structure?
I could also just imagine just taking on
Or
d5.
could I just take and after cd5,
Just develop my bishop.
where? To f5, d7, no, it's better.
Yeah. Well, I want to get it to h7. But the problem is maybe that now queen e7 is awkward to meet. Because my knight doesn't have
Yeah,
a good
I
place to go.
Right.
And
I don't
rook
like
e8, you know, I'm asking for trouble here. Yeah, this knight is kind of...
Yeah,
hanging in
Mickey's
the air
playing
anyway.
against that knight. That's the point of this move. He wants to play against this knight. So takes. If I go c5,
Well, I could just play a4 just to take
yeah, but
this
your
out of
bishop is
position.
bad as well. So I need to just, and I've got this square knight g6 for my knight. So I wouldn't play that now. I think I'd play
Mhm.
bishop d7,
Mm-hmm.
and I've always got b5, got queen b6, rook e8. I've got a lot of moves. The knight can come to g6. It's not bad there because it controls e5. I actually think black's totally fine here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just in time, just whipping out the moves. Rook f8 and bishop b2. So David decided to put his rook on e8. That's curious.
Well, I think it could be directed against d5 in many lines as well, because now I can always take on d5, merely hitting the
Right.
queen.
Right.
So rook on e8, rook on c8, I think it's logical. So probably he's going to play rook c8 here.
Right.
So both players are going to play natural moves, and then, you know, we're
Yeah.
going to see what's going to happen next. 95 might be possible.
Yeah. It's that time.
Yeah, I know.
It's that time where we get coffeed up, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a long transmission potentially today, so don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. We're going to bring some coffee, some tea, some biscuits. We're going to enjoy some more action from this round of the British Championships. And in the break, if you fancy, go and become a premium member to enjoy all of the series that Chess24 has to offer and all of the other benefits. A lot of the openings we've seen today have been covered in the series, so if you want to know more, become premium. We'll see you in a bit.
Bye-bye. And
Hello.
welcome back. Now we're gonna start simultaneously. Back to the British Championship, the 103rd. My name is Niclas Huschenbeth, and this is the delightful
Thank
Lawrence
you, sir.
Trent. I
Thank
stole that adjective from you because
That's
I don't
okay.
have any adjectives
That's
of my
fine.
own.
You don't need
But
them.
he is indeed delightful. And he's also predicting all the right moves. Especially in this game, for example, Richard Pert did take on e3 and then went c5. And
Very
we
logical,
said black's
isn't it?
completely fine here, having exchanged this dark squared bishop and having ideas of going b5 in the future. Just a very solid position in general.
Yeah, I like Richard's choice. I think it's good. Very interesting move in Mr. Tan versus Mr. Howell. Justin played a4, so he's looking to perhaps provoke on the queen side with a5 here, which is quite an interesting way of playing. And he's just keeping these pawns here for the moment, not making any rash decisions.
Right.
Especially now that d5, ed5 can be met by rook takes e2, so you can't really play this d5 stuff. And but these pawns, they are just keeping this knight. The knights can't get in, you know.
Yeah, maybe, maybe black can think about regrouping the knight on d7 to better squares. Like either knight f8, knight g6, or knight b8, knight c6. But yeah.
A bit slow, isn't it?
Yeah, and I don't like to have my knight so far away from the king side.
I'm going a5 basically. If you go knight b8, I'm just going to go a5. You want to take?
I'll take, yeah.
You can take, but I'm not sure about that move. Like here or something.
Knight c6 still.
Yeah, but you really want to do this? You really want to? Probably do this. I don't know. Let's play around.
Yeah.
Careful.
I know.
Careful.
Well, not sure. I mean, for example, I could take here on e5 and then go queen c6, threatening checkmate, and
Okay.
what do you do? f3,
Probably.
and then go knight d7.
Bishop e4 is come. Bishop takes a5. Bishop
Yeah.
e4. I mean, yeah, you've got to check. I understand. It requires some calculation. I'm just thinking, in general. Yeah, but here bishop e4 for sure. Yeah. King h1.
And here I might just take on e5,
Yeah.
even like this. If I'm so fancy.
You are a fancy. You are a fancy guy.
This works out quite
Yeah.
nicely. Okay, we're far ahead.
Very far.
It's
I don't know.
Yeah, I like it for white, absolutely. I'm just saying, I mean, you have to make a move for black,
Yeah,
right?
you-
You need to improve your position
Yeah,
somehow.
the knight is a bad piece. So knight. I see
Would you
David.
rather
I think he's going to play knight f8.
knight f8, knight
Yeah,
g6?
'cause
Feels
knight-
safer.
The knight also comes to f4. It's quite a dangerous
Yeah,
square.
I could see knight f8.
I
happening.
would bet that he'd play knight f8 here. That's my thought. There's also an interesting move here. Let me just be a complete moron and play this move.
Oh. Checkmate.
Yeah, just primitive stuff. Probably doesn't work, but
Yeah, what if I just go like
I
this?
don't know. Bishop takes f3. Let's try it.
Yeah, we can try anything.
Check.
I come in.
Now I need a move. Maybe I'll just go back.
What else, right?
Well, hold on. There might be something else. Am I too sick to play this
E5?
move? Is it too sick or can't
Yeah,
work?
I think I can just take
Check. Yeah.
and
Queen-
takes
queen
d4,
h3
queen
is-
h3.
Yeah, it's too much. Too much.
But you could go back.
Yeah. Now e5
you've given
really
up your
is
bishop.
Yeah, but e5 is coming next move.
Yeah, this queen on h2.
I actually
is-
help e5 with the queen on h2. It's kind of tricky, this. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, quite like this. Maybe you have to exchange queens, go queen g3, otherwise.
The queen g3 you take. Okay, maybe. You cannot play e5 now. I could take everything off.
Right.
And I have bishop takes h7.
Right. So.
In knight g4, I mean, there must be other ways for white
Why?
to play as well.
Not sure there is. Is there?
Is this a move?
Wow. Probably king h8.
Well, now I'm just up a pawn.
Oh, you're just coming back.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so knight g4 doesn't work because the bishop takes h7 and
Well,
then
hold on.
knight g5.
Hold on, buddy. Hold on. For a start, you know, this, here, here. Who's better and why? You can try d5, but it won't work here.
No, one more here. I have to prepare it first. Queen h3. And do you want to do knight f8 maybe? Yeah?
Maybe I'll put the knight.
So after knight f6, I might.
You should.
I might.
Even that's probably
Even
not
that.
very clear.
Well. Okay, anyways, you could go knight f8
Yeah.
though.
And if I put something on d5 very quickly, who's better and why? I'm also preparing f6.
Yeah, you're having a point here. So, seems the variation is not over. After. Yep, that's true.
Who
But somehow
knows?
it feels like
Doesn't
knight
feel
g4
like
is
a-
not the way to go.
Howell move. to me.
Oh, queen h5 we missed, yeah.
What did we miss?
So simple.
Oops.
Because it's a double attack. On f7 as well. Yeah,
well, hold
this
on.
would be too much.
Yeah, probably. Probably. Maybe. Definitely.
Definitely.
Okay.
Alright. Yep, thanks for pointing it out.
So knight g4 apparently doesn't work, so he won't play it.
Yeah.
But Gawain has got into this line that I was talking about.
Yeah, this just seems like absolutely nothing.
I mean,
Well, no, this line we didn't look at exactly. But, yeah.
But no, here there are two moves. You can either take,
I'll
which
play
is
bishop b5.
I would play bishop b5 almost certainly.
I mean, this also looks interesting.
Yeah, this, yes, but bishop c3, rook e3. I am giving the pawn back. Yeah, I don't want to let white just get out of this. Also, knight d4s are coming, so bishop a5, knight d4 is irritating.
Well, bishop f6, maybe e5 and
e5
knight d4.
and knight d4. Let's not give white any kind of play here. Bishop b5, you know, this is just
Okay, I need to take on d8.
take on d8 and
Or can I go e5? No, I cannot go e5 because bishop takes d8, c4, queen takes d8, bishop takes d8.
so.
So I need to take on d8 and you take with this
Well,
rook.
hold on. Yeah, probably that rook because I don't want to hit by knight b6.
Otherwise, this knight b6 tempo.
Okay, I'll go rook a8.
I mean, what am I doing here? On knight d5, I can still play.
Yeah, but these knights are just so bad. Probably here I would go rook c8.
I don't know, no, I like it for white.
You're mad if you like this for white.
It's a pawn.
Yeah, you're such a pawn. You and Jan, you're both the same. Not rook
I
c8.
like pawns.
Wait a second. You know, your knights are not very good.
Maybe you can take and play rook d2.
One option. Definitely one option. It's probably not the right way though. I have a feeling rook a(c)(1) and rook a... Yeah, rook c8, yeah. This could be enough. This could be enough, but also here, you know, I look at undefended pieces. This is the whole thing about chess. Pieces that are undefended. And, you know, I only need to play this.
That takes too long.
Does it?
Yeah, I mean g5, you're not threatening.
Let's go
anything
h5
yet. Okay.
to stop knight g4. You can go h4.
I could. I'm very much considering it.
Then
But could also just move my rook to d1, which would feel very natural.
okay, let's just do it.
Okay. And if I just go h3.
Mm-hmm. Still feel like black's got enough compensation.
Yeah, black is certainly a good compensation.
I mean, this isn't really the main move. I'd be curious to see what the
you
machine
can also
says.
think about rook c8.
No.
Let's ask the machine. Yeah, it likes queen takes d6 actually and taking on b2 because really this line with knight e5 it seems white is consolidating a little bit and you're not getting a pawn back. What is this? Rook d2 is not that clear. c4 and b4. Well, still the rook is very nice on d2. But the computer is saying that after queen takes c6, black is already more comfortable.
Yeah, so what's the line here? Takes, rook ab1, bishop c3. Rook e3, just rook ad8.
Okay, that's the
And
move you need
you
to
can't take
spot.
on b7.
Rook d8 is a nice move.
Because if you take on b7, you can take it, and
Rook
then
is not possible because of rook d1, so you need to take here, and then you can take on
bishop takes,
e4.
and black's better. Black
So-
is miles better.
So after rook d8, yeah, black is just more comfortable already.
Yeah.
So Chris just needs to find this specific move in his calculations right now after queen takes d6, and he will have a very comfortable game, which I wouldn't see him
Gawain is
losing.
just not impressing so far. So.
No, in the last 2 rounds he was struggling a little bit. And today, not playing in convincing fashion either.
Mark Hebden against Peter Wells. Well, it's clear that Mark was struggling, and he still looks like he's worse here. We've got a kind of reversed Slav, where this is quite a well-known
Setup,
setup. But here, Queen d7 must be the move, one of the moves anyway, just to protect the rook, and say to White, "Okay, what are you doing next, my friend?"
Yeah, the
Peter's-
opening went so well for Peter here.
Yeah. I don't think he's in any danger at all, and it's really up to White what he wants to play, but it's never easy to play this kind of position. I like Peter's position very much. My M.A. Parsons says, Loris, why do you think Hebden has intentionally gone into the bad line of London? Because he doesn't want to play against the Slav, even with the tempo up. Here, I mean, he should be just taking
I
this.
thought this was his idea by
Yeah.
playing 3c3, but he just bluffed.
He just bluffed it, and then he realised, I can't remember how to play these positions. I mean, here, well, there are a number of ways black can play with a5, maybe. Just lots of ways, but clearly wasn't comfortable.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And what did... David played a very strange move. Bishop c6. What is that move?
You might want to put his queen on b7. I think it's not so
No.
atypical.
No, the reason why it's atypical for me is because if I ever organise my queen, I've got d5 with tempo now, hitting the bishop, right? So let's say I played... The problem is I can't do it at the moment, right?
If you move the
So
queen, then black will take on f3.
what I really like is, to do this or something like that, but it's not so easy. Yeah,
Not
so
so
maybe
easy.
it's interesting move.
You know what I would like? It's like
What would you like, Niclas? Tell us
I
what
would
you'd like.
play something like rook a. Well, maybe bishop b1 here. And if queen b7, then rook a3.
Oh, that's nice.
I would like that.
That is very, very nice, my friend. A4 then has got this dual idea.
Yeah, this might
Really
be
nice
another
move.
idea.
Yeah. Very nice move, no?
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I'm not sure in which move order. If
I
rook
think you go
a3
bishop
first,
b1.
Bishop b1
Yeah.
first, yeah?
Always play bishop b1 first.
Just have to make sure it works tactically.
I mean, black can play bishop takes f3 here. That's the only problem.
When
Maybe you just go g takes. Yeah. This I don't believe.
It's not great.
No, this I don't believe. But why not just g takes? Just say, okay, put the king on h1, rook g1. What do you
I
mean?
don't want to go g takes.
Yeah, I know, but
Just feels wrong.
you want to go knight h5?
Yeah, knight h5.
That's a shame.
g6.
Mm,
It feels black's pretty solid.
yeah, or better.
Well, okay, but can I start rook a3?
You can start
Looks
it.
weird, yeah?
Start however you want, buddy.
But maybe here black can take on f3 and play e5.
Yeah.
Now my rook is misplaced on a3. But actually, just, out of curiosity, what if black took on f3 here? Same idea. Oh, so queen g3.
Queen g3.
So that could be also true in the other position then maybe.
Yeah.
It's still my rook. My rook is
Yeah.
misplaced.
Okay, but that one I don't like for black instinctively. Instinctively, that feels like it.
I want to go e4, but you can just take it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not right. This is not right. This is not good.
Well, then it could work.
Yeah.
But rook a3 somehow it just feels wrong. Just feels wrong.
Why? Feels right.
I don't know. For a moment, the white pieces are not well coordinated. Computer likes it.
White is better. End of story. Peter Wells did play Queen D7, so he is in the driving seat, and he's got 40 minutes, so that's kind of a lot of time for him.
Well,
Eggy
they have
has...
repeat moves.
Now, Eggy could play Knight D4 with ideas of a repetition here. Gormally has got quite a lot of play for this pawn. He's also got discovered attack ideas. And it's not easy to find a place for this queen, right? It's quite annoying, this queen, actually.
Yeah, I think you need to play 94 back here. Or something.
Yeah, you probably do. And this could end in a
Is
repetition.
there another move here for white? What if I go queen d3?
But then rook d8.
Probably knight e6 or
Rook d8? No.
rook d8.
Oh, no, I can't. Knight takes b5. I wanted to go knight takes b5, rook takes c8, but I'm pinned. This just doesn't work.
Yep.
Knight
Maybe
e6.
knight e6.
And if knight takes b5?
Then I can take on f4, yeah?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, probably this was his idea, bishop b5, just queen b7. Okay. So if white cannot avoid the repetition of moves. Can black avoid it somehow? After queen e3. Something knight h5 here? Nah. Knight takes b5 is always a problem.
Maybe it's just a repetition already.
Queen d7 and putting queen on a7.
It's very hard to do. It's very hard to do, but possible.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Dietmar, your best friend, Dietmar Kolbus.
What is he doing? What's he doing?
Yeah, well, we've got this position, and looks like Nick is doing
Very
very
comfortable.
well. Yeah. Knight takes d5, and if c takes d5, just knight b4, queen d1, and this pawn is very weak. Some bishop move, and black can win a pawn, so I think the idea is that after knight d5, Dietmar wants
We'll
to
take
just
the
take
bishop,
the
yeah.
bishop, maybe castle, but yeah, I mean this must be completely fine for Nick. He also has ideas of going f5, f4,
Oh yeah, I would like a 5 f4 here.
which is very strong, and we see the
H4.
downside. Yeah,
Nah, I don't think white can castle kingside really.
you think he'll castle queenside, but then knight d4 always
Yeah.
runs into.
No,
think,
it looks
looks good for Nick.
Looks good for Nick,
Looks
my
very
German
good.
fellow.
Your German Freund. Oof, Jack Rod is in
Dead
all-
lost.
Dead lost. Just no moves.
But he has spent 5 minutes.
He has spent 5 minutes for the whole game, so you know that's something.
And somebody's asking on move 30, wasn't knight d6 a good move? Move 30, right here. Knight d6,
Yeah.
also possible. Huh? I mean, there are a lot of options for white here already. Queen e2 I like
Queen E2
too,
is
just
decent.
setting the pawn on g4.
Yeah.
We actually looked at this position. Rook g8. g3 is nice. Stopping black from playing g3, which wasn't a threat anyway, but still.
Yeah.
And also, you know, like he's doing here, getting the rook into a
Typical
game.
Keith. Yeah. No, this is just game
So
over.
this is such an easy game
Yeah.
for Keith. Yeah.
Yeah. And that happens
And
sometimes.
Keith will be on 3.5
3.5
then.
out of 4, yeah, with good chances. Mr. Keith Arkell, the one and only.
He's also written some books.
I'm sure Keith has written some books. Actually, he has written one. It's Arkell's Odyssey. It's a story about him and his games and his life. But some sort of very touching book, actually. Very nice book.
Cool.
I would definitely recommend getting it. Chris Ward has taken the queen. Gawain, I'll bet that he plays knight takes queen here.
Yeah, I would expect that too.
Be surprised if that didn't happen. And the question is Chris going to play bishop takes b2? Or what is he going to do? Or is he going to play...
I think he'll take on b2. In general, you
Yeah,
know, as
now-
a general rule of thumb, I just want to point this out real
Yeah.
quick, that knights, you know, if you play against knights, you want to have a pawn structure for white, in which the pawn structure is broken. And that would be a case after bishop takes b2. Now the pawn structure is broken. And that, you know, it gives you more targets.
Yeah, it also means that if you are a pawn down, let me just put an example on the board. Even positions like this, I know e5, but even this position here
It's not easy.
is not bad for black because even this, you just have to defend this pawn. Oh, what happened?
I think you just closed it.
How did I close it?
I don't know. Let's get it back
We've
up
got a
real
white
quick.
board, ladies and gentlemen. Do not fear, we're going to come right back. Here it is. All right.
Yeah, well, the board is back. We
The
still
board is
need
back.
to put the PGN back. But I'll do this real quick.
Why don't we go big? How about we show our big, beautiful faces while we get the board back? Niclas, our resident technician, he's not just a grandmaster pretty face.
I don't know how you did this. This was quite amazing
I
skill.
don't feel like I closed. What did I do?
I don't know what happened, but we'll be right back.
Sad
Just give us
times.
a few seconds.
So I we'll come back to that position, but just so you know, so these split pawns on the A file and the C file, in these Sicilian structures, when the black C file is already open, you can put a rook on C8, and it's really, you know, not that easy. So we can get
He
the
has
board
played
back.
rook a8.
That's an odd move by Chris. It might be fine, but what's his idea after? After e5, he wants to go bishop takes f3. So
Or bishop takes e5.
Probably bishop
Well, there's still knight takes f7,
no, bishop,
but even this.
bishop takes f3. He wants to play. I mean, this is clear.
And then take on e5.
And then take on e5. And he's
Oh, but there's knight takes
and bishop
b7.
takes b2.
Okay, yeah.
So what is Gawain going to do if knight c4? Yeah, we get something suddenly because knight c4, now we can go up knight c5.
Yeah, after bishop b5 it actually transposes.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, I'm not
Bishop takes b2 would have been better.
Yes, I agree.
We can say that with confidence because we saw the engine variation earlier. Bishop takes b2 is already black advantage, tiny advantage. But now, I think, no. Black has to do some work to equalize fully.
Remember to send us your comments in the chat. We've got a lot of people. Shout out to a good friend of mine who is watching, Jeremy Hodgson, younger brother of Julian Hodgson. Jezza, welcome. Put something in the chat because I can't see you. Make sure that I'm not just saying hello without you there. So yeah, knight c4, and maybe Chris's idea is he wants to keep the bishop on this diagonal. Like
Yeah,
so.
makes sense.
This is also very promising, in as much as white's got nothing. It's just very difficult to make.
Yeah, the pawn e4 is the target now.
Yeah, and you can't.
well.
You know, here you can play all kinds of moves. You can.
And you always have to
improve.
consider also bishop takes e5 and rook d2, bring the rook in.
Yeah, yeah. But so, not saying it's a mistake, but bishop b2 takes b2 might have just been a bit more accurate. What else have we got? Have we had a repetition yet? Oh, we're on for a repetition.
Are we?
I think so. Queen f3, knight d4, queen e3, knight f3. Oh no, we need knight d4 and queen e3 one more time.
Yeah,
Hey,
but Eggleston probably happy with the draw against Gormally.
Probably, but
I would expect a repetition there.
what about Bachelor versus Emms? Because Bachelor's played the move. It was okay around here.
Queen e4.
Queen
e5 is interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessary for black, but interesting approach. No, queen b6, c5. And black has a choice between taking which pawn. Well, knight takes c5. The problem is that pawn on e5 is hanging with check.
Right.
So
Even
you don't
that's-
want to do this.
Yeah, because here.
Just queen d4.
Just queen d4, right. Probably John's going to take on b2. And I don't see an easy follow-up here, because actually this black queen is attacking a lot of pieces, right?
You always have to be careful in general taking pawns on b2, but here white doesn't have a way to attack it even a single time. And then the queen is quite active.
Jim West says e5, John Emms genius. Indeed. John Emms is a genius. Well, yeah, he's close to a genius.
Okay.
If he's not a genius, he's close to one. Shout out to John. And look at this. Richard Pert playing all the knight moves I suggested.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just so logical, isn't it? I mean, how can black ever be worse here, almost, you know?
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how Mickey is going to create play, what he's going to do.
Maybe he just can't. I mean,
And
he
B5
can.
is
I'm
a
telling
threat
you,
now.
B5 is just coming. B5 is in the air. Black has got a clear plan, and White's next move is not obvious at all to me.
I would really think about playing A4. Just stop B5 to restrict your counterplay here.
Might be able to do it anyway, but maybe not necessary. Maybe Queen A5?
Mm-hmm. He might have knight E4 though. A little tactic.
Oh, you do
Yeah.
it? No, I can take on D2. Takes.
And
Bishop
take
takes
on
A4. Thank you very much, sir, for the extra pawn.
Well,
Yeah.
not so far.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm probably still okay, but you're right.
Nah, yeah, you don't want that.
I don't want this. I don't need this in my life.
Maybe put a queen on B6.
Yeah, that's also possible. I'll try not to fall for your sneaky traps.
Yeah, that's all I was hoping for. You'd fall for it. But yeah, it seems like position is absolutely fine for
And
black.
you can swap rooks off as well if you really want. But
yeah.
actually, I don't like Mickey's rooks here because they're kind of pointing at nothing. You know what I mean?
They cannot do anything.
They cannot do
really.
anything. You need to shift this guy to be able to come in,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't ever really get rid of this guy unless, I don't know, you plan something like this. So maybe King H2, Bishop F1, Bishop D3.
Takes a long time as
Yeah.
well, but then all the rooks are off the board already.
Yeah. John Emms is a very good author. That is true. He is a very, very, very good author. I can recommend getting John's books. They are excellent. I remember years ago I got a repertoire for 1E5 against anything but the Spanish. So any opening except the Spanish, 1E5. Great book. Got me a lot of good results. So I can endorse John Emms with a clean and clear conscience. Dietmar, the Kolbus. The cold Kolbus.
He has played Bishop G2 back, which makes a lot of sense to get out of any knight B4 ideas. But still, I mean...
Feels like there should be some... I mean, F5.
Yeah, F5 is the move
Just
to
go.
consider here.
But then Bishop G5. This is the problem.
Okay.
So you can't do that immediately, probably.
Yeah.
So what do we do with black here, Mr. Grandmaster? I mean, for a start, what
I would
happens...
also consider knight D4.
What happens
and
if I...
Bishop G4.
Right, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Ah, thinking alike.
Thinking alike. This just... I mean, this is just disgusting for white. This pressure, you can just... triple down there, and it's just gross misconduct. So what do you think? This just looks better for black, no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Miles better for black. Miles better for black.
Yeah, very comfortable.
No. Nick Pert's going to win today, is my prediction.
I agree.
What do you think?
Oh. The computer actually says F5 stone after Bishop G5. Well, just move the rook. And, you know, sometimes I even have ideas to trap
Nick's
your
not
bishop
gonna,
on
Nick's not
G5.
going to play F5. He'll play knight D4.
He has
and then,
played knight D4 already,
yeah, Nick
which you
doesn't-
already saw, and then you said what you said.
No, I really didn't.
Okay.
I really didn't. Nick doesn't compromise his structure like that. No, he's just going to go Bishop G4. Or Bishop C6, one of the two.
Yeah, Bishop C6 also looks good. A lot of good options. Yeah, I agree. I think he's going to win.
And we have a draw in Gormally versus Eggleston. They did repeat. understandable repetition, really, because...
For Gormally, absolutely.
Yeah, because he's not really pushing here, and Eggy with the extra pawn.
Yeah, so really the point here, playing e5 was premature. Instead, just playing slowly would have given white a nice edge.
And now they can both go down the pub, have a drink together,
Yeah,
relax.
it's beautiful.
It's a beautiful life. Who said being a chess professional isn't easy? I don't know. So our first result of the top games today. That puts them on 3 out of 4, right? Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
Gormally drew yesterday and so did Arkell. Alright.
Mickey has played Queen C2, so he didn't go for your A4. So what's his idea after B5, which you have to play pretty much immediately?
Probably something like knight d2. Just being able to take back on c4 with the knight, which black's not going to do. You're not going to give.
There's also an annoying knight e4 sometimes that's coming.
Could be.
It's a bit annoying. That might be a good move, Mr. Adams. He can play good moves, this guy.
Yeah.
What about
Okay.
b4? Let me just be an idiot. And knight e8.
Why not just take and play queen c7?
I want to go knight e8
Why is that?
because your knight is bad on.
You want to
f4.
trap it, that's
Yeah,
all
okay.
right.
Okay, but you have to now move this knight. I go f5, f4 very quickly. In some lines, if I don't
could
drop
go
my knight.
f4 here myself.
Yes. Yeah, no, I haven't got a knight f5 quickly. If I could put a knight on f5, I would be really happy here with black.
Yeah, knight e7 versus knight takes d6.
Yeah. Even that is unclear. Because I take a knight f5. But I was thinking more just g4 here is a problem. And white really is getting the upper hand. So...
Yeah. I would just try to get the rooks off. Like, I don't know. I mean, here, just queen c7 or
yeah, you don't have to
queen b6.
force the issue. Queen c7.
And if knight e4, well, what's the matter?
What's the
Then
problem?
there's still this idea of f5, f4 sometimes in that position, of course, you need to be careful. But it could quite as well work out here. It's a little bit risky, but could be
Not
possible.
that risky though. Well, precisely. This risky for who? Looks risky for white, no? To me, in my eyes, the knight can always come to e5 as well sometimes. So.
That's true. That is true.
Any more tweets? We haven't checked the Twitter sphere for a while. Pictures of Tanya Sachdev in the hashtag C24 live tweet. Tanya, if you're watching, which you're not, hello. She did a great job. She went to the Indian Kabaddi Championships. Do you know what Kabaddi is?
No.
Kabaddi. It's a game. I'll have to show you. It's basically like tag. Like you have to get from one end to the other. I'll have to bring up a clip of Kabaddi. And I used to watch it when I was a kid. It used to be on Trans World Sport on Channel 4. And they would just say Kabaddi. And they could say Kabaddi without stopping for like a minute. Promise you, amazing stuff.
Okay. And there she was seeing the...
Why is Maxime Vachier-Lagrave overtaking my boy? Huh?
Peter Sidler? I think you're getting a little bit off track.
I'm off track here. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just watching some stuff. And Peter Svidler versus Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. Interesting. All right.
There was a question for me by Fred Ward.
Yeah.
What does Emanuel Lasker mean to this generation of German players? I don't
Nothing is the answer.
I mean, it's
These
great.
kids haven't even heard of Lasker.
It's great to have a German world champion, of course, at some point. But
Wasn't Steinitz the first world champion?
yeah, but he was
Austrian, was he?
Austrian, yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Not quite German. Nah, I mean, doesn't mean anything. Were there any other tweets? Can you just check real quick?
Yeah. We.
Dan is complaining that you closed the
Sorry,
portal there.
Dan. I did close
So
the ball.
sorry.
We have a move in Tan.
Yeah,
versus
after a
Han.
long think, Tan played 95. And this is a committal move to play.
Yeah. So 95. So David has whipped it off, and I'm assuming.
Yeah, he'll take with the pawn.
He'll take with the pawn, and then knight d7 is forced. Looks forced. All of this. But
What
now
does he
my
want
bishop is kind of, and this is a square. I don't know about knight e5. I have to say, I instinctively have my reservations.
Rightly so.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm going to say it. I don't like it.
Yeah. This looks completely fine for black.
Yeah. I actually prefer
What is
black.
this? What is this follow up here?
I don't know.
I'm wondering what does he have in mind?
I don't know. Honestly, if his rook was on a3 already, I'd be a lot happier because
Could be possible. Yeah.
probably is very possible. Why not?
King of 8. What?
Bishop a3.
That's
No. See,
yeah.
even that queen h8, king e7, queen hg7.
We can talk about it, but here we cannot talk about rook a3 would be too slow.
Yeah, now it's too slow. Now I feel sad.
Now you feel sad.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is too crazy.
This is too much.
This is too much. Yeah.
Rook d3. Maybe it's not.
I think it's too much.
Show me why it's too much, and I will believe you.
Yeah, it's just my feeling.
Your feline. Looks amazing for white, no?
I wouldn't go there.
Maybe it's a draw.
Where's the draw?
Well, what's your move? Let's just say it's your move.
Okay. Let me do like something like
Okay,
this.
rook h3.
Oh.
No, go on, play. Queen g5.
Queen g5, huh? So that's the draw you're talking about.
That's one of the draws I've got in my...
One of the many.
Maybe it's not a draw.
Why not?
King g8, rook g3. I might play on. Might play on. I might punish you. Probably a bit slow. Rook h3.
I mean, you're having a point here, but probably knight c5 is not the best way.
Yeah.
Do you really think he wants to sacrifice here?
Sure, he wants to get best game prize. It's £1,000. If it works, it's...
Really? Per day?
Not per day.
For a tournament.
I think it's for the tournament. I think it's £1,000. Somebody can correct me on that. Oh, we're so dumb. We're so dumb, I think. Knight f6.
Very sad. Unless there's this.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to work out. Maybe this is good. f6. Wow.
But no. Here can do at least this. At the very least.
Right.
So you would need to play f5.
No.
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 You can't
But
play
this
that.
is,
no.
it is losing because of this. We're having some fun here. Yeah.
Come
so
on, do it!
H7
Do
just
it!
wins, yeah?
Why doesn't it win? The comp
Because the
doesn't
computer, you know, computer always ruins all the fun.
Just f6.
f6.
Just like...
Well, it's the only move though, which is
Yeah.
getting advantage for black.
Yeah. We're just not as good as the comp, are we, basically?
I think we would have found it eventually. But yeah, if there's no immediate
In a blitz game, I'd
sacrifice,
play bishop takes h7.
I'm sure you
In
would.
a banter blitz on chess 24 against Jan, I would snap that pawn off in a millisecond.
Yeah. But then really it seems like white has not much. So this
Yeah.
94, 95, we're not sure what. We looked at rook a3. Also a move like h3 would be decent. 95, committal decision.
Yeah, very committal.
Because now really this bishop is
Yeah.
not in the game. You
Yeah.
can't get it in. So it looks like
We'll
Howell's
see.
fine.
Chris Ward has followed our advice, ladies and gentlemen. With here after knight c4, he went b5 and put the bishop on b7, and I think he's got enough counterplay to hold the balance, but probably not more than that. It's very difficult to make progress here as white. So Chris doing fine. Nick Pert did go bishop c6. He just
Yeah.
wants to exchange these bishops. That's a very decent move as well.
Yeah, absolutely. He's so comfortable here, and then just follow up with f5, f4, and you know the king will start to feel unsafe, and so easy to play for black.
Hebden Wells is Mark has just gone b4. He doesn't want lines being opened.
And now, of course, you always just go like this, right? And then just take, just go from there.
Wow. No, that's not going to happen.
This is exactly what's gonna happen.
No, it's not. I can promise you that's not going to happen. Peter Wells is not playing knight takes b4 here. Never.
I would like that.
I mean, just never. Just never.
I like it for black.
Nah, it's rubbish for black. It's just rubbish.
It's great.
It's rubbish.
Well, the blitz game any day, but
what is
maybe in
Peter
a
gonna do
normal
here?
tournament.
Maybe you'll go g5. Just gain some space. Yeah. Take things from there. Some move. Just play some moves. Not commit. Maybe he'll go... I don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah, I mean black's completely fine, but not clear where he's going to play. Probably on the king side, because well the queen side plays over.
Richard Pert is doing what you said, Niclas. He's just exchanging all the rooks off. Look at this. Boring, boring Richard Pert, they are shouting from the stands.
Well, I think he wouldn't complain getting a draw with black against Michael Adams, no matter what people say.
That's true.
Right. And it will be interesting if
think
Adams
this is
can create anything here.
There's just nothing here, is there? I mean, but Mickey might want to try and squeeze somehow. I don't know. Takes. What's a Mickey move? F4. It's kind of double-edged.
Well,
but
maybe 94 here. To have to.
what, knight c4?
Yeah, well, not
To
e4.
go here or something.
Well, just to keep the knight on e8 at bay.
Well, maybe I'm going f5. You know. Maybe
Well,
I'm
but
just
then
doing. No, I know, but maybe I'm just doing it.
I have a target at least.
Maybe I'm just doing it though. No, not a worry in the world. I ain't worried about nothing, friend. I don't know. For me, it feels kind of very, very equal. That's my interpretation of this. And in Tan versus Howell, he played bishop c2, so he bottled it. But now David has got kind of an ideal position here.
Yeah, I don't know what Justin Tan was thinking when he went for this.
And maybe he miscalculated and saw f6 at the last moment, and that's not good.
Yeah.
So,
And the game, Arkell versus Rudd has
yes.
finished here. Arkell just Did a little nice sequence, knight h6 check, rook takes, and rook takes g4. A takes b4. Rook takes e4 is a little bit mean, because now, well, you just have a queen against the rook.
Yep.
So this is just completely gone. And Jack resigned here.
So Jack, well, he's still having a good tournament.
He's still having a good tournament, but today not his day. He played quickly and badly, one has to say.
Yeah.
And John Emms took on b2.
Yeah, of course he did.
Of course he did. Bishop
The
c4.
Johnster. And now black needs a good move.
Queen b4.
Knight d5. Is that his idea?
I'll just take.
Yeah. And some move like knight e7 or knight b4. Knight e7, let's say.
Knight e7.
I think this is Bachelor's idea. Or knight b4, actually. I haven't decided. Knight b4.
Okay, and let's say if I go rook c8.
Okay.
And you want to go bishop takes f7? Is that working?
Knight yeah, might work. Might just work.
But I might have this move. Yeah?
Bishop e6.
Why do we always end up in these tactical lines?
Well, these are the lines that really either they work or they don't, you know, so...
So what do you think of this? This might
I
work
don't know.
for white.
Might do, but...
Wait, if I just go here?
Yeah, I mean... I'm not
Might
saying...
work for black. Huh?
Well, I mean, it just gets silly, doesn't it? Knight takes c6.
It just gets
Well, I can take on a7 and...
It just gets so silly. Yeah, no, it seems it's fine. Fine for white. Anyways,
Yeah.
not so ugly, but queen b4 would be a move to consider right away. Because otherwise, what are you doing here as black?
Maybe you could play rook ac8 or something. But I don't know. Uh-oh. They can't see the stream. The stream is down. Oh, God. We are live, but...
Well, hold on. Let me see what's going on.
Oh...
If we can still see ourselves, or
No,
if we have
we're
internet.
gone. We're gone.
All right, that
We're
means
gone.
We're going to go on a little break. I mean, we hit the hour again anyway, so that makes sense.
Yeah. We are gone. Let's get...
So we'll figure it out and be right back.
All right. Hello everybody and welcome back to continued coverage of round number 4 of this year's British Chess Championships. I'm with Niclas Huschenbeth, the one and only. All of the big games are pretty much still going on. Let's get to the action. And I mocked Niclas before the break for saying that Peter Wells, who will never play knight b4. I meant he wouldn't play. To be fair, in this position he wasn't going to do it. But he found a better way to do it, because now, after this and this now, knight b4 is...
Yeah, very interesting. Now white cannot take. I mean, look at these pawns. This monsters. White cannot take this. There's no question.
Yeah.
So what can white do?
Well, the
Knight
problem
d3
is this
is
knight
the problem,
d3
yeah?
is a real problem. If I were Mark now, I would be extremely concerned about my position.
You might have to do rook cb1.
Knight d3, queen d2. Yeah.
Just barely works
But
for
I
white.
mean, this is just so close to
Just
being
a3?
bad. Yeah, why not?
But also, well, you need to
Your
also
guy
watch
is
out.
running, yeah? That's true.
I'd like to put another piece here.
That's so much. I don't think it works.
Well, the problem is white doesn't have to take it, but then again,
Right.
probably b6.
Yeah, it's not really threatening anything.
No, I
Unless-
just want to take the pawn on b5. That was my
But
hope.
now maybe I can do this, no? Or something.
No.
No, I can't. It's always b7.
b7 is the problem.
Can't do it. But beautiful move, knight b4. It's always pleasurable to play a move like that. Keep the chat coming, guys. We want to hear from you. Tristan Shandy says, welcome back. He's a premium user. Helena.
It's
Who's
also a premium user.
Adrian Van Haften says, I just beat an FM with his killer Dutch. Don't know. I assume he's talking about Ginger GM's DVD. Adam Hunt is in the chat. What is Adam saying? Is Rook A3 a draw in Tan versus Howell? Maybe. We'll go
Rook
there.
A3?
Let's go there now. Rook to A3. We wanted to play this move all broadcast. And the idea is that he just
All our
wants
lives.
to do the same old Scooby-Doo.
Okay, but black can stop that in any sensible way. H6. H6 might not be a right sensible way. Rook G3.
Yeah. Queen G4 is coming.
Yeah.
So
This is not great.
right. Rook A3 looks like a decent move, doesn't it? Rook E D8.
Take.
Take. Let's analyze this. Takes. Check. Rook H3. And now if F6, I can just take and I'm winning. So what do you do here? You have to go King F8, Queen H8, King E7,
And repeat.
and Queen H4 with a draw in hand. So Justin Tan, if he wants, can play Rook A3. It's screaming out. Because the problem Justin Tan has in this position is that this position can really get out of control very quickly if you're not careful with white.
Yeah.
Unless he wants to go like A5 and if Rook
A5
E8
also.
and Queen E3 and just play along like that. That's also
That's
very
also fun, yeah.
very fine. You can put the pawn on F3. I like that as well very much. I think that's a very solid way of playing. So Justin is doing okay here. Justin is doing fine. Another person who's doing well is Richard Pert. Now, if he wins this, well,
Yeah?
it's possible, but I don't like... What is Mickey doing? He's creating weaknesses. There are dark squared weaknesses around the king. Richard has still got a knight that can always hop into action. I mean, here I would be looking at Queen H4, Queen G5, followed by H5.
I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know what Mickey is doing. He's trying to create something, but it just ain't working.
Yeah, well, it's certainly like black here, like you're pointing out, these dark squared weaknesses. So he played G4 at this point.
That's an unbelievable decision. Why not H4?
I really don't know.
G4. I mean, maybe he's scared about F5. Maybe he doesn't want F5. But
That's true.
But even this
Huh?
takes. He probably didn't want this, but this must be fine. Put a queen on F4.
Well, he still wants to win somehow,
Yeah.
it looks like. But G4
But he's risking it. He's really risking it. Mickey probably just can't accept a draw here.
Another draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand though. I mean, yesterday he drew with black against Peter Wells, which probably wasn't what he was hoping for. And today with the white piece, he doesn't want to draw another IM. He's 2,730.
Yeah, he's just gonna. If he draws today, it's like he's losing 6 points already. Well, maybe only 4 after the 2 wins.
It's
But
just how tough it is in these
Yeah.
tournaments.
Mickey seems off the boil for sure. This position just looks glorious for Nick Pert. I mean, he's going to put because Dietmar can't go e3, so Dietmar's kind of pinned.
He is pinned. And Niclas has just played rook f6.
Makes sense. He wants to go rook fd6 sometimes and win a pawn.
Or maybe also go after the king.
Yeah, this just looks horrible for white. Also,
Let's say queen c2.
yeah, if you go queen c2, I want to play this move. Do I want to play this? Let's try this.
I'm sure you want. Yeah, e3.
Yep, you can do that. It's legal, but I want to just like rip you apart. I want to just go here or something. I just want to rip you apart. But you're going to go rook h1. It's not so clear. Maybe I should give you some credit. Queen c2. Another move, of course, is just to take.
I mean, I don't think you need to do anything right now in the center. You can just play queen h5.
Or just play queen h5. I mean, this has got to be just like horrendous. Rook e6. Rook fd6. This is just horrendous. There are just so many moves for black.
Yeah, this is just like pawn pushers pointing out GM Nick Pert is squeezing.
Yeah, not really squeezing. He's just gewinning, as the Germans say.
Yep. Oh, well, say gewinn. Is that what you meant?
Gewinning.
Gewinning sounds like a combination of.
It is, but that's actually the proper German. Did you not know that?
I didn't know.
That's a shame. Peter Bachelor, John Emms looks equal. Peter did well to get out of the. Still slightly better for black, maybe, but
Well, probably rook a6.
rook b2.
But yeah, some issues still because
Knight f4 is coming.
this is a little bit weak. Yeah. No, that's not.
Rook c8 first. Rook b2, knight c3, rook c8, and you're coming down. So
Oh yeah, no, this would be horrible. No, I think black has some pressure here.
no, rook c2. Stay stable.
You know these rook knight in games.
No, I understand.
Even if you just have a slight initiative,
Of course, yeah. But
then
I
you
think
can put up some
I don't
pressure.
think it's that much. Yeah, it's not that much. Not enough to win with best play. God, imagine Mickey lost today. Whew.
Nah, he won't lose. He's too good to lose.
You never know. Queen g5 played by Pert. I like that move. You know, you tee up a few ideas. He's got more time than Mickey. This is Mickey must be thinking, God, what is going on?
Yeah, h5 is a threat you definitely need
and
to
also,
do.
you might just want to put g6 and h5 in, and have complete domination of this bishop. Maybe you don't even need that, right? But black's position is just so pleasant. I mean, the pawns are on the wrong. There are targets on the queen side, targets on the king side.
I don't see a decent move for white.
I think white is just in terrible shape here. Wow, terrible shape, maybe not, but I prefer black by some distance in this position. Practically speaking, I think this is hard to.
Well, what about bishop f5?
Yeah, I was looking at this move and thought it just didn't do anything. Plus, it lets my rook in, right?
Rook e1.
Rook e1 could be really bad. really bad. Because now, like, what if you take? It's just a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, that's only helping. Like,
Yeah. So Mickey. What is going on? Was passiert? Is that right?
what is happening? Yeah.
Was geht up?
Let's get up. Yeah.
What is happening?
I see you
Oh,
picked up some German.
what happened? Peter Wells. What? I thought he went knight b4.
Well, this must be a
Transmission error.
knight takes c4.
That doesn't make any sense.
No.
No,
He
no.
went knight b4. That's the
He must have
transmission
gone
error,
knight
guys.
b4. He wouldn't have gone knight takes d4, right? Would he? Surely not. Surely knight takes d4. No, surely not PK. That's not PKW. That's not the PKW I know. PK? What did you do, bud? We're going to get the...
We can confirm real
we
quick
can
on the...
right.
Yesterday we also had some glitches. Or rather, it stopped at some point.
He did it. I can't believe it.
He really did?
What's that about? That's
funny
mad.
because we first saw knight b4 on the board, right? I don't know. I'm still not convinced.
But the fact that c takes... No, I'm convinced now. I'm kind of convinced.
Well, this is just completely losing for black.
What is this move? I don't understand.
Nah, we'll see.
You don't think it was played? Confirmation would be great. Is there anybody there who can tell us? Because knight takes d4. Just, do you think maybe he didn't see knight b4?
Well, if you consider knight takes c4, you consider knight b4 too.
Wow. Don't understand.
Okay, anyways, we'll come back to that.
Mickey played bishop f5. That's a horrible move.
I don't think it's that bad. There's this idea of
He
knight e4.
took... What? Knight e4.
Well, there's some stuff you need to consider here.
Why? Don't just...
Queen e7 or?
Bishop takes f5. 0-1. Queen e7, 0-1. Just Gawining, yeah? Just horrible for white. King's open, knight g6 is coming, knight h4. Ooh! Horrible.
Anyways,
He didn't do it.
he took on f5, rook takes.
Now he should go queen e7, I assume. He's still better. Probably a bit.
Yeah, I would
bit
say it's
better.
more comfortable.
But rook e1 was really...
A good chance, maybe, yeah.
But I think Richard will still hold this, actually. But I'm just shocked that he played knight takes d4. I mean, just doesn't make any sense, that move. Does it? Just doesn't make any sense. No idea what's going on. Niclas Pert has turned the screw. He put the rook on d6. This is Nick Pert. You know, don't checkmate the king. Win a pawn and then win the ending. This is the Nick Pert we love and cherish.
Yeah, I mean, it's just super
We
uncomfortable.
won't even stay there. It's just too much. b3 by Mr. Jones. And
He's still a pawn up, but still black has nice
Black has just
compensation.
got great comp all the time. So the question is, what does...
I'm still considering just to take on e5, play rook
Why
d2.
can't I play this now?
I think one problem now, many lines could be something like this.
Okay, and then if I go back?
Yeah, but now you have a bishop on e8, and I just protect the pawn on c2. Or I could play knight c4 even.
Ah, knight c4. That's
Oh,
true. That's a problem. This is a problem now, you're right. Bishop c3. It's probably not that much of a problem, but...
Oh, white is still up a pawn. Still fighting. I know you like the bishop here, and so do I, but it is a pawn.
Not a real pawn. Not
A
in my
fake
book.
pawn.
I mean, even this move is interesting. Probably not any good, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I might be able to take here and play c4.
Even that position isn't clear, yeah? So if I take even this and rook b8. B-pawn! It's gonna go!
Yeah, if you can keep the b pawn, of
Oh,
course.
that's massive, because then I just take everything. So, Linda says, Niclas is my favourite commentator. Oh, no, wait. Lawrence. But somebody has said that you are their
No,
favourite.
nobody's ever said that.
Come on. I saw how much traction you got with your Banter Blitz, or when you were doing it from the States. You got amazing reviews and hits.
It's fine.
It's true.
I don't know about which one you're talking about, but
When
I'm
you
sure
were doing Banter Blitz.
10 or 20 people were watching.
You had your own channel.
All right. Yeah, no.
Thank you, Blinda, by the way. Niclas is very good. Can we get some love for Niclas, please?
No love. No love.
He needs love. He's a young man. We all need love.
Anyways,
All
I think
you
after
need
a4,
is
I can
love.
probably
Take.
take. Yeah. Still a pawn up.
Yeah, but bishops.
It's true.
He did. What is he doing? What did he? He played rook c8.
Yeah, so
And now
this is
he's-
coming actually.
This is.
I like this for white.
This is. No, it's still fine for black actually. I'll show you why.
Please.
And now here.
Yeah, I mean, knight c4 I also don't have to play.
Oh, okay. I thought you were playing that
Just-
c4.
Yeah, I don't have to because like I'm wondering what are you gonna do here, or
Okay.
even a move like knight d4. But no, let's not be too fancy. I mean,
Yeah, but I can unravel quite quickly, right?
okay,
Like I'll show you one
okay.
par exemple.
Bishop d8, and then bishop b5.
No,
Ah.
then f6 and bishop h5 and also bishop b5.
Bishop b5, I like. Funny setup with the two bishops.
But look how many squares
the
they
d8.
control. It's amazing.
Beautiful.
I wonder what the assessment is here. Bit better for white. But just never anything massive, yeah?
Danger Mouse saying, I don't need love of a GM title.
Exactly. That's Danger Mouse. That's a good comeback, my friend. You can just go rook b8 here and bring the other rook to c8. That's
Yeah,
good.
that would make more sense.
That's like very sensible, right? Very sensible. Yeah, this is just fine for black.
Makes me wonder why I didn't do it right away though.
Weird, but
Maybe because a4 could be in a position.
yeah.
Like earlier, we were wondering why not rook b8 here immediately.
Yeah, I do not.
Maybe a4.
Because a5 is always a weakness, right? And then you have this passed a pawn. So a knight's coming to c4.
He has
and-
just played rook b8, of course, which makes so much more sense than bishop e8.
Right. No, this is fine for Chris. Absolutely fine. Not more than enough compensation. Michael Adams has played rook f3. Still looks amazing for black, no? I mean, what would you play here? Queen e1? Because I want to stop rook e3, right? And
Yeah, queen e1 makes sense.
this just looks amazing. Amazing might be too strong, but it looks pretty darn good. What, queen d3 or something? You can't do anything because now this guy is... What do you do after queen e1? Queen f5? Try and be
5 rook
active.
e7.
e7? I don't know, try and be annoying somehow. Can we be annoying?
Queen c8.
Is that annoying? What's the threat? No threat. No threat, no good.
So just g6.
Yeah, but I don't like that. I mean, I don't like weakening. What does the machine say? Let's check. Yeah, of course it says queen e1. We're strong, right? What does it want after queen e1? Queen f5? No. Ah, queen b1. Nah, Mickey's never going to play queen. Oh, maybe he will.
Queen b1, queen d1, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, but this ending, I mean... the important thing is he's got this, right? With some pressure. Rook e1, knight c3, knight g6 still looks just disgusting for white. Always this threat. But maybe it's just okay, but optically I have to say...
Yeah, I would definitely rather be black.
Oh, we got a draw in Justin's hand versus David Howell. So David probably offered a draw after bishop d4, rook d7, noticing rook a3 and thinking, oh my god, I don't know how to draw.
I think that was why.
Yeah.
Nah, I think it was rather this a5 move and then queen e3, and there's no way for black to do anything.
Wow. So a good draw for Justin and okay draw for David with black, and means that we're not going to have... Well, unless Richard Pert pulls off the win of the championships with black against Mickey Adams, we're not going to have somebody on full score.
Yeah, most likely not. I'm expecting a draw there as well. And who else is going to...
Well, Nick
to be
Pert
in
is
the
going to
lead
be on
then?
3.5. That's just... Nick just doesn't lose. He just wins these. Yeah, he plays h6. And any move. It doesn't need to rush. White can't do anything. Just completely horrible position. Just disgusting.
Yeah, just passive.
Just passive and horrible. But
I
I
guess
can't
all the
understand what Pete Wells has done today.
No, I mean, people are asking us to check this game, but we're still in disbelief. And still, I'm still thinking, you know, it was a transmission error or something like that. Because, you know, knight takes d4 here. What do you do? a3, just queen b1 even.
Yeah, these pawns don't work together on the
No,
white squares.
they're broken. They're not connected.
Also, bishop g4 is just a threat in the position, winning a whole rook.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, it's just game over.
Doesn't make any sense.
So we're still, you know, I'm still thinking there was a transmission error, and maybe we'll get back to that later on.
Yeah.
And we're seeing some moves here. Rook a7. Oh, what? Chris Ward only has 3 minutes for 16 moves.
That's probably enough. But his move, bishop takes e5, is interesting, because after knight takes e5, he wants to go f6.
Yeah. Can I go knight d7 though? Oh, then probably rook f7 would be a good reply.
That would be a good...
And the knight...
Ooh.
Slightly
knight.
unfortunate place.
Might still be okay, but I wouldn't play rook d1.
Yeah, this is... I don't think this is any good.
Probably...
You won't get this knight out anymore.
Hmm.
Probably. I mean, unless you have rook c8, knight c6, but it looks extremely sketchy. No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do this. Rook c8.
So he
king
played
e7.
f6. But also after knight d7, you know I can just take that. That should just be fine. Maybe even go rook df d8. Maybe. I mean, there are going to be a lot of endings, right, where you have the b pawn.
I don't like this for black.
Okay, he's not going to do this. He's not going to take.
Yeah, I don't think there's...
He's not going to do
No,
that.
for knight e7, rook f7, of course.
Yeah.
That was rook d1 though.
Rook d1.
Doesn't make much sense, right? I'm hoping for rook d8.
I know what you're hoping for.
But if black doesn't fall for this.
Rook c8.
Or rook c8 might be knight b6.
Wow. Rook takes a7. Rook c7. Yeah, but even these positions are...
Still a pawn, my friend.
Yeah,
Still a pawn.
You're holding on to this pawn.
Yeah, I like my pawn.
Right.
But maybe rook e8 to avoid any tricks.
Yeah.
But now I could probably just go rook b7. No, I think knight e7 might be quite possible, in fact. I mean, what other options do you have? Well,
you don't really, because any knight move can be met by, you know, knight f3.
Well, you could also play something like
No,
this.
but that's just nothing. You can just take it. That's just...
and then.
Yeah, just... Well, I
I
mean...
mean, I have this.
No, I
idea.
understand, but I can just go rook f7 or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Here.
Yeah. I mean, how can white ever be better here?
I'm trying to say the whole time. I'm still up a pawn.
Not now, though. It's not the same. It just doesn't matter. Bring the king in, I don't know. It's just careful, you could lose this.
Thanks.
Yeah, and your trick doesn't work because I have c2 at the end. You want to go rook b3 and c3 like a Neanderthal. And then I'm just going to take it and say thanks. You could lose this.
Yeah, maybe rook b1 wasn't the
No,
best.
but this is, I mean, just optically, how this isn't a real pawn, is it? I mean, this is just, I mean, even if you do something else, I mean, what are you doing here? I can go here and here. This is just better for black.
Yeah, that seems fine.
Yeah.
You're right. But
So,
knight d7, I
knight
like.
d7 is interesting, yeah. It likes knight g4 as well. Why does it like this move? Interesting. I don't understand anything.
Yeah, I don't understand either.
And it just wants to protect. Maybe that's it. It just wants to protect the c2 pawn with
Yeah.
knight e3. Maybe that's just very good. And then suddenly you can play f3 and yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Galactic. Who else we got here? Peter Wells hasn't moved apparently. Is that true? Peter Wells is just not.
No, I wouldn't move either after just playing knight. Nah, I think it's a transmission error.
I don't think it is.
Oh, but why would he take it then? You know, it's not like white had other options besides he takes c4 unless.
Do you think
Miscalculated.
Dietmar Kolbus will win today?
I mean, he is German,
He should win if he's German.
but nah. It seems unlikely.
Richard Pert played queen e5 check, king g2. Now he should go to e1, surely.
No, of course. Yeah, you have to deal with rook e3.
Why did he play queen e5 check? That doesn't make sense to me.
Oh.
I thought you just leave your...
Well, hold on. Is there any idea to go knight g6? This is just losing, yeah?
This is just... What is this idea?
You know,
This
give
would
some
be
checks.
one check. This would be a disaster for me.
Well, then I cannot explain.
Especially with 28 minutes, that would be really disgusting.
No, I don't know what this check is.
This is
Well, I think it's just for the future, maybe. He wants to go queen e1 and then, you know, come here with tempo. Knight g6, knight h4.
maybe. Maybe.
Like, for example, now if queen b1 we looked at, now knight g6 would
Mhm.
immediately
Mhm.
threaten something, which is great.
But my king is so much closer, no? Queen takes queen. Rook takes you have to do. Knight h4 is king g3, so rook takes only move. And now rook e3. I don't like this.
Come on, I mean,
What?
this is fine.
Oh, it's fine, but...
Well, you want to see him winning or what?
No, I don't... No, I mean, this for a start, we can just take, and king f8.
Yeah, I'm
And-
saying you want to see Richard.
Yeah, I
win.
want to see Richard winning. I want to see a way to
Yeah,
try and...
he won't win.
He won't win. Will he make a draw?
Yeah, I would.
You think he's
Guess
going to
on
make a
draw.
draw today?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he has played knight g4
Yeah, now I say Gawain...
because he doesn't have the bishops anymore, right?
Yeah, now I say Gawain has got great chances.
Also, we have to remember just 2.5 minutes
Yeah.
for Mr. Ward.
Mr. Ward, Mr.
Good
Ward,
position.
Mr. Ward, what are we
I
going
mean, also
to
the
do?
rook's just so strong on e3. On
A7.
e7. Maybe you want to exchange it, but
Rook
it doesn't
E1.
help. Doesn't help. Next one is going to come.
Oh, Chris, you were playing so well.
Yeah. Well, one important moment seemed after knight takes c6. He could have taken here on b2, and now Even bishop a3 is probably fine. But this was a nice line here, rook d8. Just equalizing on the spot, even having a slightly more pleasant endgame here.
Yeah.
And then, well, black was always close to equality, but never fully reached it. This is the current position. He played h5,
Yeah.
which is not doing too much. 93 still. Was always close, but could never really get there completely. So we're expecting a win for Gawain Jones.
Yeah, I think he's going to
especially with
grind
this
this out.
time
Yeah.
as well.
It's not easy to play this position.
Queen d4.
This is really... Rook e7, what's the problem? Maybe knight e2? Rook, knight e2, queen takes c4. Maybe just queen...
Rook f4 maybe, yeah?
Queen d2? Queen d2 and then
Knight
knight
e4.
e4.
Uh-oh.
Oh, sugar bums.
Sugar bums indeed.
This is bad. This was a really bad... And it's so unnatural. Keep control of the e file. Put the queen on e1, the rook on e8. You keep control of the knight on c3. And then you can develop your knight on f8. This was just... Really, Richard didn't go with his instinct.
When we predicted a draw, now this might be
He didn't go with
a
his
turnaround
instinct.
because you have to queen f5 black,
Probably has to go f6.
which is such an ugly move. My goodness.
Maybe it's still okay for black, but...
This is so ugly.
Yeah, and Mickey will be looking at this now. Rook f4, queen d2.
No, queen
Queen
e2, have knight e4 again.
Queen
so
e5, queen
you have to
e5.
go queen e5.
Ah, exchange queens. That's helpful. Can I go rook e4?
I'm guessing I have to take.
Takes. Ooh, this would be a dream for Michael Adams.
I can just go king f7 though.
Ah,
Sorry
put it
to
in.
ruin your
Put it in,
dreams.
yeah. Let's have some fun. Rook e6. Yeah, d takes.
I guess I gotta go here.
All right.
Play g6.
Yeah, I know you're gonna play g6.
Oh, you know.
So sick. So sick. And if I don't do it like
All right,
this...
let's get back to the game because actually he didn't play f6.
What did he do?
He played.
Oh, no.
No, hold on.
Is this
So
okay?
The engine is saying it's still
It's
fine.
okay?
But this is getting quite messy.
Maybe it's okay.
This is getting
So
quite
what's
messy,
going on
ladies and
after
gentlemen.
knight e4?
If knight e4, just queen e2, and you have, you know, some ideas yourself.
You are
Actually,
just-
after queen d2,
What about...
knight e4 would be a mistake.
Wow. That's so sick, no? So sick, so sick.
Yeah, here.
And if you take on d6,
No,
knight...
hold on. Queen
Yeah.
c1 is the move,
Oof.
which is the engine spitting out,
And black is winning.
and black is winning.
Unbelievable.
But of
Wouldn't
course,
that be unbelievable?
that would be unbelievable. But of course, Adams is Adams, and he just played rook e4 just while I'm saying it. You know, he wouldn't take these risks. And now knight g6 is just queen c8. But black has to play knight g6. If black takes, then knight takes e4.
And...
Game over.
Oh, Richard, you had so much control. And maybe a draw, right? Because of knight g6 and checks. And maybe...
That's the question.
Maybe draw, maybe not draw.
That's the question.
Queen takes b2 and probably draw. Put a queen on e5. Yeah, put the queen on e5, buddy. Control everything.
Mm,
Yeah. Draw. Draw. But a
it's
shame.
very close.
It's close.
Everything.
Peter Wells has not moved in the past 20 years.
Yeah, like I'm telling you, it's a transmission error. He has played knight before and he's going to win.
Could be. Somebody who could get us the Wells game, that would be great. Chris Ward has got 2 minutes to make 12 moves. And kind of struggling. Take it. Rook a5. Rook b8. And now just play
Get the
simple
king
chess.
close.
Play simple chess. You can't even go here probably. Rook e7. And now just f3. Just bring the king in. Gawining. Poor old Richard Pert. Any other news? John Emms. Is he going to win? No. Should be a draw. Should be a draw. Not even clear. Nick Pert is just turning the screw. The screwski. And if e3, just rook here. Nothing to be done.
Yeah, g5. Also in
G5 is
position
gonna-
now.
Yeah, it's just horrible. Horrible.
Yeah. Rook e6.
Nothing to be done.
e3 also an option. I think
Just
you know,
too many threats.
if white just played any move, just e3, g5, and just crush through.
Gawining. Horrible. Look at this rook on c3. Should be a bishop.
Even then. Even then. Yeah. Very nice game by Niclas Pert. Just outplaying his opponent.
Yeah, he's just outplayed more or less most of his opponents. That's how Niclas does it. World Under-18 champion in 1998. Can you believe it? In a really strong tournament.
No, I didn't know that. What about queen e3? Winning by pinning.
Queen e3. I might just play rook d6 here.
You might.
Just protect my little guy.
At least I'm getting my... Oh no, I cannot play queen f2, e takes
No.
d3. Yeah, this is rather strong, because e takes d3 is impossible to deal with. And Dietmar Kohl was also struggling to find a good move here, as you all are.
The Kolbus. Cold as a Kolbus.
Niclas will take this home. And Chris Ward is going for the end
He
game.
wants to play rook d7. So the question is, do we exchange rooks?
Do we keep the rooks?
I think I would just exchange rooks here.
Yeah?
Because I can just get a passer and you can't. I mean, my knight is just so ideal on e3. I mean, you can play some moves if you want. Up to you. I'll give you black. You want to play black here?
It's not that I want to.
I mean, par example. You know, I might just go here or something.
Hold on. Can we maybe
Yeah,
go king
hold on,
c5?
you come in. Ah. Yes. Yes, that's true.
Oh, he's just swapped the rooks off indeed.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably not even the best. But sometimes I can go c4, right? I mean, like, I could probably do this. Right? Does that make any sense, or you just wanna try and defend this? I mean, Gawain's just gonna win this. It's just Chris has got no hope of surviving, in my opinion.
You know, what about this plan? Knight
King
c4.
E7. Yeah, that's probably also very strong, but King d6. Ah. No, I want to go bishop b5.
Sure.
I'm just going to take it. Bro. Takes e5. Maybe I'll bring the king in for e5 first.
No.
Maybe not a
here.
draw. Maybe it's
How
not.
are you?
I don't know.
King f2, king c6, king c5, king e3
Yeah.
would be
It would be
neutral,
so. And if I go
but
king c6?
yeah, it doesn't matter. Play d4.
Yep, that's good enough. That's good enough. Yeah, it looks winning. It looks winning.
So
It
maybe
looks-
this is his plan. Just
Yeah,
go for
yeah.
the pawn.
Yeah, could be.
What is this? Maybe I just go f3 and I'll just
Yeah.
pick it up later, yeah?
Yeah, no hurry. Oh no, takes king e5. 0-1.
Okay, I should play f4 then.
No, takes king c5. 0-1.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
No, definitely. Just take the pawn. Just take the damn pawn. Yeah. Knight d3. f3. And you calculate, no? f3 and calculate.
Calculate the pawn game.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks pretty good for white.
Some move
But
like
then
e5.
again, I'm not sure. Yeah, e5. maybe,
e5 is probably good.
yeah? Uh-oh.
No, I mean, white should be drawing easily with g4, but... Interesting. All right.
Here we have. I told you all along. I told you he played knight before. Yes,
thank God for
Peter.
that.
Peter,
Thank God.
that's the way to go.
b6.
Oh, he even took on b4, and we said he could never take on b4. He has to play
Wow.
rook cb1.
Wow. 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 b6, b3.
Wait, why not queen b5?
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
sensible.
Okay, anyway, b3. Let's get to the current
Mhm.
position. Look at these monster pawns.
Oh, he gave the... Oh, no. The bishop is hanging. And what does he want to do here? Rook e8? What's this? Rook e8.
b7? Oh no, rook takes e7.
Right.
But I don't know why he even allowed this, honestly. As black.
b2 is coming next move. Right?
That is, well, you're having a good point there. b2 is...
b2 is like next.
Yeah, if b2 is next, you're having a very good point. Okay, can I go queen c5? And somehow make the case? Make some case here?
No.
I cannot make a case?
You can try.
I have a case here.
You have a case?
I think
Case of
so.
what? Champagne?
Case of pushing pawns. Then we'll see which pawns are cooler.
I like c3, by the way. It's probably a good move. That's too sick to have a rook and a bishop less, and that would be the sickness.
Well, I mean, if you take an 8, I'm just gonna win,
Yeah,
right?
probably.
Probably. Yeah, we're having some fun. White is winning?
Maybe.
Well, I told you.
Let's go to the current position.
Queen
Black
c5,
is-
man. Best try.
Queen c5 and just
Queen
queen
c5.
e4. Ooh, and Richard is slowly botching this, but maybe has enough to
Queen
draw it.
c5. Like, shouldn't take you on c5. Just go queen e4. threatening the bishop, and b2 again. At
Yeah, that's really strong. That's really
but
strong.
at least, you know, white is surviving still here.
Oh,
b7 takes, and now taking on a3.
Ooh.
Black's still better, let's be clear. But at least, you know, white is surviving.
Rigid Pert has lost control of the cockpit.
Alright, let's see.
Well, he's just...
He hasn't played knight g6, which was the move
Yeah,
he needed to
Queen
play.
e1 is still a decent move, though, because it stops knight e4, and it prepares knight g6.
Yeah. But the question is, how strong is this attack? But yeah, it looks decent.
Probably enough for a draw, still instinctively, I would say. But he's got to play accurately.
What, did I just take this?
No, my little friend. This is not how you play chess. Don't you know about knights?
You have to play queen e5, yeah?
Well, I don't know. Let me check.
I'm hitting the pawn.
I understand. Let me just, can I analyze?
You wanna
Yeah,
do this?
yeah.
Knight h4?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna. Let me just have some fun, alright? So, queen g1 check. Queen takes f2. Thank you very much, Niclas. And g5 or g6, the next move. And king f4, queen h2, picking up the queen.
This is what Richard Pert is hoping
This is what
for.
he's hoping for. I mean, your instinct should tell you can't take this pawn on a6.
Well, I thought if I have my queen here...
No. It's about feel, this position. This isn't about, you know, this is about feeling. No, the queen has to take the f7
Maybe
pawn.
queen b3 then, yeah?
No. What are you doing? Queen b3. What is this? This isn't the chess that I learned. Knight g6. You want to draw with queen c2? You can have one. You can have a draw.
Why a draw?
What do you want here?
Oh, you can just move to
Yeah,
king.
king h8, king g8, whatever. I'm only a pawn down, and I've got a raging attack.
Raging. Yeah.
I mate you in every line. Queen e4 is mate. You're just getting mated.
Is it?
Of course it is. Queen e4, knight h4. Queen g1. Queen f2. g6.
g6, yeah. Alright, let's get back to the game.
Yeah,
Queen
he played queen
d7.
d7. This is Mickey Adams, yeah. This is a, you know, we're talking about a pro here. We're talking about a real player.
Well, the point is that after knight g6, white doesn't take on d6. It
Exactly.
takes on f7. And the key pawn is protecting his pawn f2. Now you can just go to h2.
Even there, yeah. Well,
Yeah, queen e5, f4.
whoop!
That
mad?
would probably...
You mad? Are you mad?
That would be...
Are you mad, my friend?
So you would go king g3 here?
Possibly. Yeah, I
So
would.
this time it works out
Yeah,
just about right. Yeah.
yeah. There's pinned. My g pawn is pinned.
Yeah, and even if it could move,
It's
wouldn't make a
nothing.
difference.
But Mickey Adams, strong play. Queen e8. He understands, Niclas. This is the difference, mate. He understands. Queen e5, queen e8. Pin the pieces. Control the counterplay. Control the attack.
Yeah, this is a very strong move.
This is a sick move. That's a move you don't want to see with 10 minutes left. You're like, oh, now I've got no moves. What do you do?
He
here?
really has no moves.
Yeah, it's just,
If the queen moves, let's say g5, f6, and knight e4.
no, but maybe I can go back.
Yeah, but now I've improved my knight position.
No,
already.
but maybe you haven't. Maybe you just haven't.
But maybe I have.
Nah. Nah, maybe you haven't. Maybe. Nah. I'd probably go a5 here. Oh no, my pawn is hanging. I don't want to blunder. Yeah.
Some nice
Queen
knight
e5.
maneuvers. Yeah, no take.
Oh!
I'm very happy camper.
Wow.
Queen f6 was just played, but yeah, I
That
think,
might be a good move, no?
well, just not many options. And yeah, the computer is suggesting knight e4, queen e5, knight g3. exactly this
Yeah.
line actually we just saw.
Yeah. That's so disgusting.
But here black doesn't have enough.
Oh!
What is the queen? Close.
Queen f5's an issue, right?
Queen f5 looks like a huge issue.
Unless queen takes b2. And
Winning by pinning.
knight f4. No, that's Gawain. That is Gawain.
So Adams is taking the full point.
He's gonna
most
win,
likely.
yeah.
Man,
It's
I
kinda
didn't see that
sad.
coming.
Kinda sad. For all you Richard Pert fans out there. Now, Chris Ward, interesting. We do get this ending where he's currently 2 pawns down, but he's got a monster active king. And
Yeah, but just f3.
king d4. Let's
And
go.
then maybe knight a2. No, the king is monster active. That's very true.
King e3. Let's go.
King e3, I have to play, yeah? I mean, this is probably his best chance. Yeah, that's interesting with the king being so active.
Bishop e8.
E8. But yeah, I mean, you also have to
Now, king d4. What's the problem? King c4 and
king c4.
easy draw. Black's better. Maybe it's a draw. Can he draw this? I think he can draw. I mean, it's just so easy to play this with black. You just don't do anything. You just... What?
He will not draw this.
No?
No.
Maybe he will. Paul Tanner says, I don't like Lawrence Trent. You are not the only one, sir. Join the club. Even I don't like me. Pawn Pusher says, Lawrence Trent, great commentator. Thank you, Pawn Pusher. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's definitely a good try.
Let's see what the comp says. Curious. Yeah, it's not saying...
Well, it is saying white is winning, but you still have to be accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not surprising, being 2 pawns up.
Interesting game of... Look at Nick Pert. He's just... If he wasn't a
He
chess...
just had the, you know...
If he wasn't a chess player, he'd be a masseuse, you know? Because he just massages all the time. He doesn't know how to... He wouldn't be an assassin. Like, he wouldn't be a hitman or a bounty hunter. He would be in spas giving massages all day. That's what he does.
Sure. Yeah, look at this battery on a d-file. This is great.
Yeah, or maybe he'd be
Queen
an electrician. With given this
six.
battery, who knows?
Still has to, you know, still has to break through.
Nah, but there's just like ice, it will melt.
Like ice, it will melt. I was wondering if black can take on d3 now.
He didn't. He played rook c1 deep, but he's in deep trouble.
Well, what is rook c1?
I don't know. It's rook takes d3 or e takes d3.
Yeah.
Probably rook takes, no? It's just finito.
Yeah,
Finito la comedia. What would you do? I'd play rook takes. Get a pair of rooks off. Rook takes first, and then decide.
I'll get it and then decide. Okay, that makes sense.
Rook takes, and then if rook takes, whatever.
Yeah, then e takes.
Maybe then e takes. Queen d2. Just any old iron, put a queen on e4. It's just gross.
He took twice with the rook.
Yeah, you can take twice with the rook because e3 is weak. You can just go queen d6 or something.
We can do anything here. Let's be honest.
Yeah. It's
But
just...
it's curious because I thought queen c2 was still possible. Am I missing something here?
Yes.
And
You're
what is
missing
that?
just g5. Just g5. Just blow the water open.
But then I could at least, you know, think about something like this.
Oh, you want to check me?
But
That's nasty.
it's probably not doing much because I still can't take.
Can't take.
Yeah. Well, but in either case, his
Okay,
position
this
is
is just
pretty
horrific.
horrific. And hold on. Draw?
Draw?
Come on.
Flipping
You don't make a draw in this
heck.
position.
He probably had no time.
He had some time left.
No, he probably had no time.
I mean, maybe our clocks were
That's
incorrect.
outrageous. PKW. How could you? That's Margaret. He was dead
Ah,
yesterday.
yeah,
He's dead today.
Oh, we don't have the right position, that's why. Okay.
Oh.
Let's calm our horses. Now we get the update position. This is more like it. So hold on. So he did find this sequence he had to find with Queen C5.
Queen E4.
E4 and B7 only moves. Now
And
rook
now
takes
he made a
A3.
mistake. Now he has to go Queen E4 again for the win.
Yeah.
Queen E4 is winning, but B2 might not win. Rook B1, Queen E4. Yeah. Still looks good.
Yeah, but
that's a
now
mistake.
he regains the piece. And here even he could play on rook
Why
C2.
would you not go rook C2 here? That's so weird, no? I think
he
he
didn't
was...
have much time.
Peter.
You went
I
rook D2
don't
and
know.
then of course.
Yeah.
But what an exciting game, really.
Great game. Great game.
Night before.
Sad though. I would have liked to see Peter win, really. But... Well,
Great game.
what else have we got?
This will.
Wow. Better for black, but...
And John Emms, he had a similar good endgame.
Yeah.
But this time it's actually less than his other endgame. We shall see. And look at this.
Look at this. We've got the position knight A2
We
on
talked
the board.
about this.
Just go King E3. You gotta
will
play
go
it.
King
You
E3.
gotta play King E3. There's just no other move here.
Yeah, and the king is very active. White has to be accurate to convert this.
Yep. We'll wait till the time control is reached. Let's go to Adam's Pert. And,
F6 was played.
so the first move to consider is what exactly? Something like H4? B3, just to keep a pawn?
Yeah, what is black actually doing next move?
Not sure what his next move is. That's the problem. There are no
A5
checks.
he can play.
He can play A5.
So we played A5 just.
Yeah, A5 also is kind of very sensible.
Because yeah, you're in this pin. Whenever you exchange queens, you're just in a lost knight end game.
Right.
Or H4. I mean, I like H4 too.
Does Queen F7 have any value? Or not? With the idea of knight H5.
But then suddenly you have to calculate stuff again, yeah?
Okay, do we? Probably do. Probably right. Well,
maybe
knight
this
H5,
works.
knight F4 check minimum. And that's probably a draw because king's too open. Loads of checks. C4 is hanging. No, that's no. I want to go here. Try this way. Probably a bad move.
It's Queen E4 check, and it looks like a draw.
Probably a draw. Sad times. Sad.
Well, you
sad
don't need
times.
to unpin the knight. Like you're in such
Just
control
go
right
B3.
now.
Yeah, just go B3. Just go B3.
B3,
or
A5, H4.
Yeah.
One of the three we're expecting. Yeah, we're expecting Adams to win.
He played A5 actually, which is
Yeah, I like A5.
it's a good move.
Well, I suggest
It's a
it.
very, 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 very strong move.
Now suggest a move for black. Please, Queen E1. What else can you do?
I have no suggestion, if I'm honest. No moves.
Just game over, yeah?
Queen E1 probably.
Yeah, okay, I'm just waiting for you to kill me, yeah? H4.
I'm waiting for you to kill me. Still, got to win. Keep the queens on, Rich. Keep some play. Gawain Jones has played knight c3. Interesting move. Maybe with the idea that after bishop somewhere, let's say d7, he wants to go knight b1. Is that his idea, to keep the king out? Or is that just too passive?
I don't know.
Or is his idea to go knight a4? And then say, okay, my pawns, they are a running. Like this would be disaster. Big moment for Chris. He's only got 30 seconds. Well, he can put the bishop somewhere, so he puts it on e8.
Put it on e8. Get it out of the way.
And now knight a4. I think Gawain.
Yeah, knight a4 is strong. But also knight b1 is possible.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. But
King e1. Maybe bishop b5 back.
Back, yeah, precisely.
Yeah, just bishop b5 back. You want to be really careful before you advance those pawns, because you got to make sure you don't lose them like I did earlier. And he has played knight a4.
Yeah, Gawain is strong. The force is strong with this one. Yeah, he wants to go knight c5. He doesn't want to be passive. I think that's right. Also, the knight coming into c5, you can take e6, take g7. So, I like Gawain is strong. Gawain's going to win. Gawain is going to win this one, ladies and gentlemen. Believe me when I say it.
And this game is over. Queen d6. That was a little tactic here. Well, but it didn't really matter. Position was dead lost anyway. Rook c2, rook takes e3. And queen e1 picks up a second pawn. Yeah. And more to come. And just nothing there to play. Yeah, just a very clean win for
clean as you like.
Pert.
So Nick is moving to 3.5.
Who else do we have on 3.5? We have the two leaders, Justin Tan,
David Howell on 3.5.
Adams is probably.
Yeah, Mickey I think will get there, and I think Gawain will get there. So
Gawain will get there,
and Keith Arkell.
Keith Arkell
is on 3.5, and Bachelor Emms will be about a draw. Yeah.
Okay.
E5 played by Chris. Let's quickly go back there. Now
that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. Knight c5, knight b6. Knight c5.
Maybe just knight c5. Huh?
King. Yeah.
I mean, now you always have these ideas too to consider. Yeah, that's just too much.
And Richard also, I fear, is on the brink.
On the brink of losing. Yeah, I mean, he just doesn't have any moves.
We'll wait for him to play a move.
Knight g6 is what the computer suggests.
We'll wait for one more move. Knight g6 must be...
Well, if this is the best move, then you might as well say goodnight.
Knight e5, b3. I mean,
well, it's just a matter of time for White to convert this.
Yeah. Would agree. Would agree. So let's just wait for them to play their moves. And then we'll take another very quick break. Knight c5 played by Gawain. Absolutely fine. Chris Ward has got 30 seconds. Yeah, it's just too many pawns, and now the knight is just harassing the king's side. No good. Richard Pert has no moves. Richard will be very upset. Richard will be upset because he had a great position. Really, just.
Yeah, he was very comfortable. But
and Chris played g5. Well,
this just seems to create more targets.
What are you gonna do?
I was just gonna take and play knight d3.
King d4.
And then just get my king closer.
Probably not the best way though.
There's also king d2 here.
Yeah, the last thing you need is like a 3 versus 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Richard did play a move. He played Queen E1, but
Yeah, but now you're
it's
just going to wait, and it's just not going to help your position. Let's say H4. Black doesn't have any moves again. Queen E5, H5. What do you do? Queen E1 back.
Mickey will find a way. Let's do this. Let's put ourselves on big. We're going to be right back. There are 2 big games still going on. Gawain Jones versus Chris Ward. Mickey Adams versus Richard Pert. We don't expect either Richard or Chris to survive, but we'll be here to see it out until it is completely hopeless for them. In the meantime,
already,
go and get your cup of tea, cup of coffee, and some biscuits. We'll be right back.
All right. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the coverage of the British Championship. 2 big games still going on, by the way. My name is Niclas Huschenbeth, and there's Lawrence Trent, just in case you forgot.
Just in
while
case
we're
you
away.
didn't know.
Just in case.
You might not
Let's
have known.
get back to... let me just
The action.
switch over to the board view, and Adams, Mickey Adams, he's just improving his position. Move by move in the last few moves, all what black has done is moving the queen back and forth. And what is white doing? Just pushing the pawns forward, grabbing more space. Now it's white to move again, and I think here Mickey will take some action. Maybe just move the queen now that the square on g6 is covered, right?
Yeah,
So
queen d7.
Queen d7, right? It's just Zugzwang immediately.
It's just Zugzwang because I'm going queen e6 next move if I want. Or if you go queen e1 again, question is, hold on. Yeah, I just take. So
I mean, the knight is out of play now. The main counterplay
actually
for
it's
black...
just complete Zugzwang. King h8 maybe?
The counterplay was always centered around going knight g6.
Well, I can just go here.
And
Here, and then I take and go knight e4. No, it'll be
you can do
over
anything.
shortly. Mickey will see that. In the other game, Jones versus Chris Ward. Salsa dancing hero. This is also looking very good for Gawain.
Yeah, king h2 I like. Just not taking on g5. And if black takes on h4, just king h3.
Probably king h3. Yeah. So Chris in desperate trouble as well.
Yep. Do you have any tweets coming in?
Any tweets? The Twitter sphere. Oh my
Let's
god. No tweets.
I don't know.
This is the chat.
Nope. No tweets. So sad. Anyways. Keep sending us or interact with us through the chat if you have any questions for Lawrence. Like when is he going to write his first book? What it
Maybe
will be
we
about.
can write a book together.
What about?
I don't know. Hamburg life.
Oh, a non-chess
Life
book.
as a hamburger.
A non-chess book. That would be crazy.
Hamburg chess. Hamburg chess. Have we got any other games? Just
Yeah, of course we have some
Let's
other
just
games
have a
going
look.
on.
John Emms against Peter
Oh,
Bachelor.
true.
He's
We forgot
John
about
Emms is
John.
kind of, you know, he wants this win. He wants to just say to his young opponent that, you know what, buddy, I'm an experienced grandmaster. You're just a punk. I'm gonna beat you.
He's certainly going to try, as long as he feels like
This
it.
is a very strong move, I believe. That's a very strong move, my friend.
Difficult move to make though.
It's really difficult because you see that this is just...
Giving a pawn with check is always, psychologically speaking, not easy to
but
do.
This is just a draw, and a simple one. Because you win, you come round, and it's just really a simple draw. Will Peter Bachelor see that? Maybe, maybe not.
You can stay passive though.
Akito Oyama against Marcus Harvey, and it looks like Akito Oyama has got a bit of an advantage here. Very
Pawn
difficult.
up.
Very difficult to convert, but a pawn is a pawn, and we will see if Akito Oyama does
I
it.
do like Chris Duncan's position, I have to say.
Chris Duncan, the Dunkmeister, is crushing Rob Wilmoth. Knight b5 speaks for itself, and the pawn is going to go, and this is just really bad for Rob. I expect Chris to win this without much of a problem. Mike Waddington is also completely crushing, and again, he's putting in a great performance, Mike Waddington.
He lost yesterday.
He might be on 3 out of 4 if he wins this.
Yeah, I know he was on 2 out of 2.
Yeah. Lawrence, will you give me 50-1 for Nick Pert to win the title? No.
No.
50-1 for Nick to win it.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad odds.
I mean, what am I going to win? 10 euros? I'll give you... No, I don't want to talk about that. Anyway, Mike Waddington is doing the business. It's business time. And he's doing brilliantly. So Mike's going to win that.
Yeah,
Look completely
we'll just
win
win a
it.
piece.
And Giannis Lensos, again, the youngster, is close to being very good, but maybe just not enough to win the thing. But not easy against this 8-pawn. Hate this 8-pawn. Hate it. Freddie Hand against Marcus Osborne. Experienced player Marcus Osborne. White is better, and he's got a breakthrough via c4, so is he just going to grind down his young opponent? Probably will. I'd say that Marcus Osborne has got good chances here. Wow, Jeremy Menadue is crushing Richard Britton. That's just game over there.
What's the game Walker against? Go up a little bit. Walker against Brooks.
Walker against Brooks
it's
is
an
a
interesting
draw.
position to make a draw at least. Everything's hanging.
Phil Brooks, who suffered such a devastating loss yesterday against Mark Hebden in a completely winning position, was a real shame. Real shame.
How can you make a draw here? I'm not even sure. This is not
F5.
what he played chess for.
So now Mickey has to calculate something, does he? Basically, you can take here, check here, and go here, and there's no more checks. Well, there's one, and then I come back.
Can also go to h3, yeah?
Probably.
After queen e5.
I mean, Mickey is just going to calculate this. He can even just take with the pawn. Like, just take with the pawn if he doesn't want to give checks. Hopeless position. Gf5, knight g8.
Queen
Give it
e6,
check,
queen
and queen
d6.
e6, and just hopeless.
Yeah.
Michael Adams and Chris Ward. He's trying. You got to give it to Chris. He is a fighter. Knight c7 followed by knight d5. So knight c7, hitting the bishop f7, knight
Doesn't
d5.
matter.
And if you take, the idea is I go b4, right? That's the point. And this guy just runs. And if you go bishop c6, knight d5, you can't even take now because of knight b4. So knight c7 followed by knight d5 is really very obvious.
And there was a question for me, how do the German championships compare to the British ones? I think it's quite similar, less players though. We talked about this briefly, I think just like around 30 players total. The way people qualify is through state championship, and there are also some wild cards. In terms of strength, it depends, but the tournaments are pretty strong usually, of course. Not all the German top players are participating, but a fair number. And yeah, I think in many ways it's similar to the British one. The prize fund, well, I don't know what the prize fund is nowadays. I remember back in the days was 6,000 euros for first. Could be still the same, more or less.
Yeah.
And Blue Haze is asking if I'm planning a life in the US or Europe. I don't know.
You love the US.
I do like the US, yeah, but I also like Germany. So it's a luxury
Do you
problem.
love Germany? Liebst du Deutschland?
I like Germany. I mean, they're both great countries. They're very different, of course. But I like them both. You know, we got to see what the political situation will be in the US and how this develops. But in general, I could imagine living either in Europe or in the US, really. I don't know if I would live anywhere else. Have you lived anywhere else besides Germany and
I
England?
have. Spain, Italy, Mexico.
Really?
Yeah.
You've lived in Mexico?
Lived there for about 6 months, yeah.
How come?
I was teaching chess in 2009 when swine flu came out. I was in Mexico City the day swine flu hit the news, and everybody was running out. You've never seen anything like it. This panic.
What? Everybody was running?
Yeah, running because I was in the airport and people had masks on, and it was just unbelievable. I was going to Cancun or Las Vegas that weekend, one of the two. Can't remember because it was a party. Niclas, do you have a job?
No, I'm homeless.
He's just here part time, just
here.
He's just cleaning the toilets or something.
I don't have anything better to do, and at least they give me food here, and it's warm, so that's why I'm here.
How do you think Simon Williams would do in this tournament? Do you think he would have any chances of winning? I don't think Simon would win it, but he could definitely put together a good score. He's very capable.
Mm-hmm.
So I can definitely see that. Knight c7, bishop c6 is on the board in Gawain versus Chris, and now knight d5. You can't even take on c2, and I expect Chris to actually resign after knight d5, because if you
Just
can't
another
take,
pawn is dropping.
yeah, if you can't, oh, he did take on c2. Well, knight b4 will end it. So Gawain moves to 3.5, and Mickey Adams, the last game
move
we
to 3.5 as well.
Queen e5, King f3 will be played, in my opinion. And
Or Queen h, King h3.
Yeah,
But not King h4.
this would be a mistake.
Yeah, I think so.
Nothing like that has ever happened to me. Like, I never get that luck, that kind of luck. I can't remember if that's ever happened to me in a real serious game.
Yeah. Why would it happen, right?
Yeah, it's just hopeless.
But you've had luck, I'm sure.
I've had luck, but not like that.
Not that extreme.
No.
I understand.
Has anybody resigned against you in a winning position? I get asked that question a lot, and I can never think of an example.
I've resigned once in a, not lost position.
In a drawn position.
Unclear.
Unclear position.
Yeah. That was a little bit unfortunate. But,
Right.
have you ever lost on time?
Have I ever lost on time? Is that a serious question?
Yeah, in a classical game.
Yeah, loads of times.
Really?
Yeah,
Why did you do that?
because I spent too much time.
Oh. Only has
Who's
happened to me
this?
once.
Who is Danger Mouse? Reveal yourself. Lawrence says he has no luck. I resigned a drawn endgame against him. Who are you, sir, Danger Mouse? Reveal yourself.
Deja Bao, by the way.
Whatever. In Basingstoke weekend, long time ago. Basingstoke? When was that? 15 years ago? King H3.
I told you.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Well, it just doesn't matter. And resignation will follow. Right here, or will he give one more spy check? Is that how you call it?
I don't know why he would even play that check. 'Cause I wouldn't play that
Well,
check.
then you could ask, why did he play any of the previous
No,
ones?
because he wanted to check that he doesn't go King H4.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He's not going to... He'll resign here. Rich. He should resign.
Wow. Well, so you can't remember your winning against Danger Mao and Basingstoke?
I can't even remember when I played that tournament, honestly. It must have been so long ago. Basingstoke. When did I even play in Basingstoke? I can't even remember the tournament. Where is Basingstoke? I just don't even remember. Twist, Lawrence, can Fabiano beat you blindfolded? No, I beat him over the board normally, so of course he can't. No, he might be able to. I don't know. He's strong. He's very good blindfold. Very good, actually.
Do you ever play a little bit?
Yeah, we play a bit of Blitz.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we play Blitz quite a lot.
Nice.
When he really wants to beat me, he beats me. And then if he tries not to beat me, sometimes I beat him. But he's strong. He's not a bad player, is our Fabiano. I'm slightly concerned about this Maxime Bashir-Grave rating performance.
Yeah.
Gaining 20 points.
He's scary lately. Just winning so much. And not losing.
So in
any games.
Singfield Cup, there's going to be Vasiligraf, Kramnik, Caruana, Aronian, Nakamura, So, Anand, Giri.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And Dingleren. One.
Dingleren has just dropped 23
and
points.
Topalov. Dingleren. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it.
Yeah, it's not a bad field.
That's pretty strong. Dingleren has dropped 23 rated game, 23 points. How did he do that? Oh, he lost it in the match versus Grishchuk, and he lost to a 2500. Wow.
Okay. Well, that costs a lot of points.
That's 8 points already.
Losing against the 2800.
Yeah. Oh, Richard has taken on f5.
He's going for the pawn end game. What do you think?
Takes. Yeah, this is just...
I think, yeah.
Because if
I think
takes
White's gonna win.
king g8, you go f6. This is the way. And you are in Zug Zwang. And now Mickey will play f6. Yeah, immediately plays f6. Blitzes it out.
Of
Yeah.
course.
And just to illustrate, ladies and gentlemen, g takes f6, king g4, king g7, king f5, king f7, and now any pawn move to gain the opposition and penetration into the enemy camp. And I think Richard will have had enough now. So let's wrap it up for today. Niclas, my friend, it's been an interesting day. Some really good games as expected. Tan Howell ended in a draw probably at the right moment because it looked as though, Justin could force a draw if he wanted to for a certain variation. Richard Pert, poor old Richard Pert, he was doing so well against Mickey for most of the game and he just lost his way